Hey everyone, and welcome back to Collective Voyage Innistrad. This is episode 5 of Collective Voyage Innistrad, our MTG Goldfish Dungeons & Dragons series, where we're not playing Magic the Gathering the game, but we are exploring Magic the Gathering universe.
Universe.
The universe.
It's a combination of a horse and a universe. It's a unihorse.
I'm sure I'll edit this part out.
Oh, I'm sure.
Fine.
Yeah. So it's Magic the Gathering universe. We're playing Dungeons & Dragons. We're exploring the Magic the Gathering universe, plane by plane. Right now, we are exploring Innistrad, the original Innistrad timeline. Avacyn is missing. Bad things are happening, yada, yada, yada. Point is, this
Did you
is
just
episode...
yada, yada, yada over Emrakul?
Stuff happened. It's not really. It wasn't a big deal. Everything's back to normal. Everything's fine.
Okay.
But right now, everything's not fine. It's horrible right now.
Wow.
So it's episode 5. So if you are just watching this for the first time and you're interested in watching Dungeons & Dragons, as you should be, you should start on episode 1 because this is a continuation of an adventure. And if you just start at 5, you're going to be very lost. But yeah, quick recap just to hop on in to episode 5. Last episode, there was a siege. There's an undead horde coming from the north of Stenzia, coming your way to Shadowgrange. And you, the heroes, have decided to buckle down, fortify the village of Shadowgrange, and just weather this onslaught of undead that are coming. You did a scouting mission, you got a rough estimate of the numbers and what exactly is coming to you. You made preparations. Siglinda blessed and empowered the holy wards of Shadowgrange. Valvius found conscripts amongst the villagers, basically any able-bodied person who can hold a weapon and fight. They gave them weapons. Valvius did some quick training on how to fire bows and everything. Jareth and Tristan, both of you, fortified basically the northern part of Shadowgrange, where you knew the horde was going to be coming, most likely, what direction they'll be coming. You set up like a barricade funnel, a makeshift barricade funnel, to kind of get all the undead, as many as possible, squeeze into the small enclosure. And you also soaked it with oil. You lit it on fire, so when the undead came, a lot of them were engulfed in flames. A lot of their numbers already were withered before the battle even began in earnest. Yeah, you did it. Very good preparations.
I believe part of the preparations was also putting Valvius in an exploding carriage and sending it.
I forgot about that. That was
the zombies.
Escaping unscathed.
Yeah. Unscathed. That was crazy. So that worked. I was surprised. But yeah, 2 of the scabs went down. They tried to knock down the wall. You stopped them. But then you found out that the main gate was breached. It wasn't on the north side. It was on the east side? Something side. It wasn't on the north side. It was the main gate was breached. You went over there and you started... You came across a battlefield. There's Cathars, or there's local militia fighting undead that have poured into this breach. And you have... basically taking the front lines of this battle, trying to push back the horde long enough that you can seal the gate, seal the barricade, and fortify your town once more. So you dealt with the first wave of undead, but then, just as it seemed everything has finally quieted down a little bit, in came a very, very large stitched abomination. A Goliath, if you will. And, It crushed one of the Cathars in its way, and it has waded into battle against you, the heroes. And that's where we left off. So that's it. We're gonna hop into. Oh, we're on the right page. Excellent. You see, there's a bunch of the corpses of your slain foes, or the re-corpse. Whatever. They're undead. They're now dead. They're gone.
Once again,
in its place is loading. There we go. There he is.
That's an appropriate amount of heads and squares, I guess.
Yeah.
Such a cutie. All right.
I really like, just because it's such a small piece of art, it looks like the left head has a little party hat on.
It does!
Yeah, a little birthday hat going on.
Oh, it's
Party Goliath.
Well, now how are we going to kill it if it's just here to party?
Right?
And then
Oh, because that's a hand?
arm.
you kind of miss on the glory because it even has more heads.
Oh.
It's just a beautiful mess.
That's
It
amazing.
has arms on its heads and
Oh,
heads
God, I
on
love
its
it.
arms. And arms on its arms. It's just
Yeah.
There's just an arm on an arm on an arm. It's a very Stitch Mangler kind of thing going on.
Yeah.
Indeed. And it wades into the battle. And just as a reminder, it's a massive battle happening all around you. That's you.
Thanks.
There's a massive battle happening all around you. Local militia and conscripts are fighting in the background with the skeletons and the zombies that have already poured through the breach. They're fighting their own fight, and they're going to influence you ever so slightly in your main battlefield. But the focus of this massive siege is on you and your specific fight. That's how I'm running mass combat. And so you have something called influence dice, allied dice, that you're going to be rolling
Sweet. If
at
we
the
all
beginning of every
die,
single.
the whole city falls and the quest fails.
I mean, well, you die. Maybe the city doesn't fall.
Yeah, these city folk might be able to take care of themselves. Probably not.
I'm sure they can handle a scab Goliath.
Sure.
But the main question right now is, can you handle a scab Goliath? So, we already have the turn order, and
Right.
the scab is going to definitely roll. And, ooh, you all rolled horrible. I forgot.
Did you
that.
notice this? Yeah.
Yes.
Oh yeah, this is not the best for you.
Great.
All right, so top of the order, Jareth, roll a 2d6.
Sure, sure.
Add nothing.
I totally remember how that works. Boop. Rolled them. 4 and 2.
Okay, so nothing interesting happens for you.
Great.
So no Cathar came and killed the Goliath for us?
No.
If someone rolls 3 6s, I really hope that happens.
All right. And shambling out of a finished battle, joining the Scab Goliath is a zombie.
Oh,
Great.
It's got a 6.
great. His little buddy.
Aw, just got an arrow through his eye.
Zombie. So yeah, they stepping through the breaches, the Scab Goliath and a zombie, and it is now Jareth's turn. What do you do?
First things first, I'm gonna use my last spell slot of the day and cast Hunter's Mark on the big Goliath.
Mm-hmm.
And then I'm gonna shoot it with a bow and arrow. Welcome to playing a ranger, everybody. This is all you do. It's literally
effective.
this.
It's all that matters.
So I'm a cast Hunter's Mark, which means if I do hit, I roll an extra d6 of damage, and then within the hour, if it were to die, I can then transfer the Hunter's Mark to another enemy within range. But first, I'm going to crit fail this hit.
Oof.
Please tell me I have inspiration somewhere. I'm going to use
You-
inspiration.
You have inspiration.
And let's try that again. All right, 9 to hit.
Well, it is a very huge
Very
target.
I thought
So
so.
despite your not amazing shots, you still managed to hit one of its limbs. So
Great.
Roll for damage.
15 in total.
Ooh. All right.
5 for the mark,
Better
10
than
for the
your
arrow.
roll.
And your arrow lands hard into one of its many armed arms. You know, it has like an arm and then it has an arm on its arm.
It's
So
like
it
a
hits one of
fan
those.
arms.
And it definitely stings, but the creature has such a large mass that it seems undeterred. It seems like it's still going to be moving forward at you.
Great. And then
Which
for my
is-
movement, speaking of, I'm going to walk all the way back here. And I'm going to bring Cheddar with me.
All right.
Not getting closer.
Okay, well, the Goliath does move closer, and it swings at Tristan, who is the closest target.
I don't want to.
Oh, yes. All right.
Oh,
It brings one of his many fists. It has a fist, but then this little tiny arms on its fist are also fists. and it smashes down at you, striking Tristan hard into the shoulder for 14 bludgeoning damage.
Oh, whoa.
Are you down yet?
Oh wait, doesn't he have
Very, very
disadvantage? Because he's within 5 feet of Valvius? Or is that not a thing anymore?
I don't know. Can Valvius do something?
Valvius was slow and didn't use protection before the Goliath swung down. Valvius was looking at his shoes.
Well, that was... He'll
For
wake
Valvius.
up soon enough. I think Valvius wanted to challenge anyway, right, Valvius? That's what you wanted? You wanted to challenge?
Yeah, but I needed Tristan to poke him from behind, but...
Yeah.
Well, I'll keep an eye out for the next attack for Tristan.
Thanks.
Well, Valvius wakes up, I guess, because it's his turn.
So I was gonna ask if we would survive melee combat with this, but apparently we can, given that Tristan is still alive. So,
Yeah, sure.
I will use my bonus action to cast Divine Favor,
Okay.
and that gives me until spell ends, your weapon deals an extra 1d4,
Ooh.
Nice.
and I'm going to.
Radiant damage, which might actually matter
Mm-hmm.
against undead things.
I'm just gonna move up here between the zombie and also in front of the scab, and I will swing my warhammer. Hiya. 12.
Hits.
12 hits. It's very large. It's hard to miss.
If not, it's 12 hits.
And you strike it in its leg. One of its legs.
I'm gonna use my last spell slot here and use my thingy. What is it? Divine Smite? Divine Smite.
My thingy.
Divine Smite. So I roll my damage,
Yes.
right? And then I get 1d8 damage on top of that.
Well,
I think it's 2d8 if you're using a first level slot.
Okay.
And then you add another one
Another
d4
D4,
because you
yeah.
did Divine Favor.
Roll 1d4.
all right.
So,
Casual 21 damage.
21.
Dang. That's pretty good.
Jeez.
I channel
right.
the Fury of Aurelia.
Oh, man. That's even the wrong angel.
You hack. Your warhammer glows with a divine fire, and it slams hard into one of its legs. It's like 3 legs, and you snap its bone and tendons and stitches.
Ew.
But
It's okay, it could be
it's still
stitched
a
together.
Goliath, so it still stands, but it's taken a lot of damage.
Nice work.
It is now Tristan's turn.
Alright. Since I'm right here, I am going to try and attack it with my rapier.
All right, and you get sneak attack. if
I
you
do get
that.
sneak attack.
That definitely hits.
Okay.
16 hits.
So 14 total, 10 sneak attack,
Darn.
and 4 regular.
Nice.
Because that did increase to 2d6.
And as the Goliath is a little bit off balance from that heavy blow from Valvius, you manage to maneuver your way and smack it in the back, in its backside, ripping more of its stitching and leaving just a large hole in its side.
Ew.
It's
spilling guts.
looking pretty bad now, actually. But it's just such a massive thing that even with all these devastating wounds on it, it's still moving about. And now it is.
I'm gonna use my cunning action as a bonus action to disengage and step back a little bit, though.
Seems correct.
Yeah. So 5, 10, 15, 20-ish.
Okay. Is that the end of your move?
Yeah, that's the end of my move. I'm just going to move out of the way and be like, Valvius, you may want to leave.
Okay.
Avacyn will
That
protect
hurt.
us.
So
Smile.
as you say that, one of the zombies, its buddy zombie, comes in and slams a fist awkwardly at Valvius, and of course it misses. All right.
You have disadvantage, right? Just
What
making
does it
sure.
have?
Because of my protection from evil.
Oh, you still have that? All right.
The protection of Avacyn never leaves those who truly believe.
It's fine. It's fine.
Oh
All
my
right.
gosh.
He's very annoyed now.
It is now.
Poor Valvius, just always working.
No, I'm fine.
Oh yeah, suddenly this rock trap's above you for some reason. We just make a slight adjustment to machine here.
Avison will save us. And I cast Sacred Flame from the
Sacred
heavens.
Oh.
Whoa. All right.
DC 13 to have it.
All right. Well, I mean, it could pass in theory. So let me try. 13.
I'm gonna check.
Nope. It tries to awkwardly dodge, but with one broken leg, it doesn't manage to get out of the range of your divine fire, and it singes its body heavily, and now it is burnt and not looking good. Not looking good, but it still stands. Oh, I did not mean to remove that much. All right. Okay, yeah, and it still stands. And at the end of the turn, you notice there are screams coming from the broken remains, the debris of the gate, or what was once the gate. And moving in a very casual manner, kind of skipping along, you hear a voice, but a very human voice.
No.
It's a female voice.
Ugh.
And it's somebody's like humming a tune to herself, and stepping through the threshold, you see two figures, one shambling in front of her. It's a zombie, but you recognize it almost instantly. It's a zombie that has a missing arm and just a very powerful frame. And Tristan, since he has, been with this person the longest, you immediately recognize this as an innkeeper, Eckhard Scheck.
Oh no!
And so he's shambling forward, clearly an undead, and moving right alongside him is a woman, a teenager, and she looks like.
She looks like evil.
She looks like evil.
Huh. Well, I had a picture, but
where's
we're gonna throw in the picture in post.
Coming in post.
But I mean, you get to see her token.
Does it look like any specific magic card art we may know?
Yes.
Elspeth.
Maybe we'll see. We'll see if you recognize it from just the token itself. It's not easy.
Bitterheart Witch?
Oh.
Yeah, okay, you got it. That was
What? That was smooth.
It's not who I expected.
And moving forward is a zombified version of Eckhard Scheck.
Aww.
No.
And you
poor
see
guy.
this woman. She is not in armor, which is very odd in a battlefield. She's kind of skipping along with this zombie in tow, and she has a bell in her hand that she's kind of jingling idly as she skips around. And she looks at Valvius. And she mutters an incantation under her breath. And she casts a spell aimed at Valvius. Valvius, you get to... Whoops, not that.
Get.
Hopefully you didn't see anything.
I didn't see anything.
You get to make a wisdom saving throw. Yeah.
Valvius can probably handle that.
12.
Maybe not.
And you feel like the blood in your veins kind of like stop for a moment. Your muscles seize up, but with your willpower, you just barely fight that urge to seize up all uncontrollably, and your muscles kind of regain their power again. But she definitely reached out a hand to you and kind of squeezed, and your muscles kind of seized up in that moment.
That sounds awful.
Sorcerer, she's doing weird things to me.
It is now top of the order. Jareth.
Cool.
And as we go into that, I would like Valvius to roll 2d6. And I'm going to roll 2d6. Ooh.
All right.
Yes, Cathar, come and kill the witch for me.
Yeah. Here you go, buddy.
Wow.
Stay
Okay.
out.
Seems like you're having difficulty.
Thalia just moseys in and kills the witch? Yeah.
You see a Cathar rush in into your battle, and he yells, "By Avacyn's light!" And he slashes the zombie, runs through the zombie in front of you, and it goes down.
Nice.
It's dead. Blah.
Still.
Before it moves back into the battle. But also, Valvius, you feel a thunk in your side, and it takes you a moment to realize that you've been pierced by an arrow for 3 damage.
Oh,
All right.
thought I was the arrow person here.
Is there a zombie Jareth?
There's like
somewhere
there's
shooting
a
us?
skeleton that's fighting, some local militia in the battlefield, and apparently it shot you.
It missed who it
Yeah,
was aiming
really
for and got
bad.
you.
It must be really bad. But yeah, so that is the battle around you. Now, Jareth, what do you do?
So I can't really see this woman very well. I'm guessing there's a large scab in front of her from my eyesight, so
You definitely heard her.
I definitely heard her, and so that makes this scab look real creepy, because all I can tell is that there's a small child's voice coming from it, and that sounds bad. So I'm going to shoot it with an arrow. Again, welcome to the thinking of a ranger. Oh, that's actually not great. 8 to hit.
9 did.
You barely hit it. You hit one of its hands.
All right,
Again,
roll
very
for
big
damage
target.
and hunter's mark. 9 damage in total.
All right, and again, more of your arrows find its mark,
A lot of whipping.
and it's still standing. And this huge creature just can take a lot of punishment, but it's not looking good. It's looking like it's getting close and falling over. It's staggered for sure.
I think you said that the last 3 hits.
I know.
Yeah.
I mean, it has.
It's been staggering for a while.
So big
It's
mass.
taking a lot, guys.
Right.
It looks real close.
You're almost there.
For my bonus action, I'm going to pet Cheddar
Okay.
and yell at Tristan to see if he has a healing potion on.
Oh, right, he's a ghost dog.
Mm-hmm.
I
I
forgot
do.
he was a ghost dog.
You do? Okay, good. Because if you didn't, I was going to toss you mine. All right, I'm good.
So Cheddar kind of looks at you, kind of looks at the fight, and it looks like it's growling, and it looks like it wants to. It's kind of like motioning. It's like it wants to go over there.
God, I think Cheddar has more hit points than I do. You know what? Fine then. As my actual bonus action, then I'll look at Cheddar and I'll say attack. And now I get to use this ruler thing. Right? Where's the ruler? So I can see how far things are.
I think if you like hold. Nope.
There you go.
Yeah, there.
It's about 40 feet right there. Cool.
And Cheddar also has a special ability.
I know.
Oh.
Yeah.
To teleport over to it.
Actually, literally, we're going to have Cheddar teleport. The dog magically teleports along with any equipment it is wearing or carrying up to 40 feet to an occupied space. Before or after teleporting, the dog can make 1 bite attack. So that is, I think, what we're going to do. We're going to have Cheddar...
Does it use a bonus action or does it use your action? I think it uses your action.
Oh, that's true. Never mind.
But
In
you
that
can
case,
still move it.
yeah. I'm going to move him next to Valvius.
Okay.
I have faith that he'll be fine. Right there.
All right. And Cheddar has entered the fray.
Ha!
Nice. All right. It is now the Goliath's turn, and it goes smash.
With disadvantage.
Smash!
Does it still?
Only with disadvantage if it's attacking Cheddar.
I don't know,
think
with
it's
me. Because it's undead, right?
Oh, right.
And if it's attacking Cheddar, I'm going to use my shield.
Thank you.
Why did I close you? All right, there we go. And it swings at Valvius. And, it misses.
Yay!
Again, just like the holy radiance emanating from Valvius just repels it. And a hit that probably should have hit ends up missing as it goes a little bit. It smashes the ground beside him, leaving a little minor crater. All right. It is now Valvius' turn.
All right. We swing the Warhammer again. 10 to hit.
That hits.
Aha!
All right. This, and then, what was it, 1d4?
Yeah, D4 for the radiant part.
All right, 10 damage.
Woo!
And again, you break one of its legs.
Oh,
Come
Now
on.
it's hopping on one leg.
It's like kneeling down. Well, it has 2 more, but like it has a little tiny one.
it has 4 legs in total? What?
It has some tiny like legs, like a leg off its leg. So it's like not good, but it's still there.
Okay.
I think Tomer's range of where this thing started at and where it's dead is just it's not good all the way down until it's dead.
It's
Like,
getting worse.
Even at full health, yeah, it doesn't look great.
I mean, that's
It
true.
is
It's a scab.
stitched scab, right? Yeah.
Exactly. So
It
that
was some shoddy work.
he's not lying, but he's also not actually giving us information as to how injured this thing is.
I mean, it's looking worse than when you started to hit it, right?
Oh, okay.
There you go.
Some stitches have been unstitched. All right. Moving on. It is Tristan's turn.
Oh, okay. Yeah, I think I'm going to use an object and just drink the health potion that I have.
Okay.
That's a whole action, right?
It's an action.
Yeah, I think so.
So,
That's a 2d4 plus 2.
and that's just slash roll or just roll?
Slash
I
roll.
think slash roll.
2d plus 2. Alright, so I'm going to heal 7. Gets rid of my health potion. So I am down that. So I'm going to go back up a bit.
All right.
So that is my action for the turn then. Do I have line of sight on the witch or whatever? The female that just came in.
I think you'd be able to see her, but if you're using a ranged attack,
Probably going to be difficult because
probably I think it's like a -2 to hit.
Okay.
If you're shooting like she has basically what amounts to like cover against you, so I think it's a -2 to hit. But otherwise, yeah, you could shoot her.
Okay. All right. Well, I don't think I can because I used the healing potion as my action. So, I guess I just ready myself, ready my crossbow.
Okay.
So
you ready in action to fire
if she seems like she's going to advance, I guess. I don't know.
Okay.
I don't think I can actually ready in action. I think it's more I'm just saying that like I'm putting away my rapier, pulling out my crossbow as like
I mean, you could
the rest
ready
of
in
my
action.
No, he used his action to drink a potion.
Yeah, that's
so
what I'm
he
saying.
can't-
I used my action, so I can't actually ready in action.
Yeah.
Like in combat type thing.
Yeah.
So I'm just saying like I'm putting away my rapier, pulling out my crossbow so that I am ready for next turn.
Okay. So that's like half of your movement, and you still have
Yeah.
a bonus action if you want.
No, I'm good.
Okay. And next up, we got Siglinda. What do you do?
Alright, I can actually see this crazy lady,
Yeah.
and I'm not a huge fan, so I'm gonna pull out my crossbow and shoot her.
Ooh. All right. So again, she does have a little like partial cover from the Goliath, so it'd be a -2 to hit.
Okay, well 13 is my roll to hit.
Okay. And you fire an arrow, and
Oops.
it's very close to hitting her, but she manages to dodge out of the way, and now she's looking
Darn
in
it.
your direction.
Aw, man. Okay.
It is now her turn.
And she knows about me.
She looks at you and... Ooh. Alright. She kind of grins to herself, but it's not like a normal grin. It's like a maniacal like grin to her. She's like, I haven't killed a cleric yet. This will be fun.
Oh, great.
Oh, good.
And
I'm going to keep it that way.
She casts a spell, and in the air manifests this ethereal-looking, ghostly dagger, and it zooms outward from her and attacks you. And despite your heavy armor and your good defenses, she manages just to hit you in just like in the armpit area, and the dagger strikes you for 6 force damage.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, she chanted a spell, and like this ethereal dagger manifested and flew out and hit Siglinda.
Okay, that hurt.
And then the zombie beside her, she moves forward, kind of over. Actually, no, she doesn't move at all. No, this is fine. and her zombie.
It's like, yes, move forward so we have better aim.
Her zombie stays beside her too. All right,
Tomer, I just also looked it up because I remember there not being minuses in 5th edition for cover or almost anything. So half cover, if she's actually behind the scab or the creature or whatever, actually just gives her +2 to AC and dexterity saving throws.
Oh,
okay.
3/4 cover gives +5 bonus, and then total cover just can't be directly attacked by an attack or a spell.
So it's not a -2, it's a +2.
Yeah, it's a +2 to AC. I remember that was a thing that when they moved from like 3, 5, and 4 to 5, they tried to just remove negatives as much as possible. So yeah, so anybody who's behind half cover gets +2, 3/4 cover gets +5.
All right, good to know. Well, yeah, that's her turn, and the zombie of Eckhart's turn. And that's top of the order. And again, roll 2d6, Tristan.
All right.
Ew.
2 3s. Perfectly average.
The battle rages on around you, but everybody seems preoccupied with their own fight at the moment.
Mm-hmm.
And it's
fair.
Jared's turn.
I'm have my movement put me here, and then I actually don't know. Does this dog have multi attack? It does not. That's okay. It's a lot more fun for this thing to bite it. So I'm gonna have Cheddar bite the Scab Goliath.
Okay.
Ew.
Actually, no. I'm gonna have Cheddar go back here and attack the witch.
Ooh.
Probably more tasty.
21 to hit.
Wow. Yes, it hits.
Nice.
And he goes up to her, bares his fangs, and just sinks into her thigh for 8 piercing damage.
So as Cheddar goes to attack the stranger, this necromancer lady, just before he would hit, she kind of rings the bell, the skull bell, in her hand, and instantly she swaps positions with the zombie of Eckhart.
What?
And the zombie of Eckhart gets hit for 8 damage as Cheddar rips off one of his other arms.
Get that bell.
Okay, great. I see this, right? From where I am on the steps here?
Yeah.
Okay.
You're specifically watching.
Yeah. When I see this happen, I just yell, guys, there's something awful with this bell that we need to make sure she never rings again.
Okay. And she hears this too, and she's looking at you.
Great.
And she says, "You're next."
Also, not as great. That's all I got because my action is having Cheddar do stuff.
Okay. Next turn, it is the Goliath. Again, the Goliath tries to swing at Valvius. As it does, it misses. It's just like flailing and trying so hard, but just this holy protection emanating from Valvius just keeps him just repelling all the attacks.
Gotta love it.
It is now Valvius' turn.
All right. I will swing my warhammer once again at the neck of our Goliath friend.
Woo!
Hits.
That hits.
And then my radiant damage.
Oh, it's a good.
Oh, come on.
All right.
Maybe
that
he gets
was-
to like her little leg, and he's just like pogoing.
rip off its little leg, you rip off one of its heads, and you rip off most of its arms. Now it has like
Oh,
one
man.
arm with like its fingers are arms, and one head with the arms sticking out, and it's kind of like on the ground, looking like it's gonna hit you one more time. It's not looking good though. It's looking even worse, perhaps.
Oh man.
It is now Tristan's turn, I assume, unless
Yeah.
he obviously wants to move.
No, Valvius is done.
Belgium's
Alright.
good. All right.
I'm gonna fire at the scab then with my
Okay.
crossbow that I have.
That hits. Okay. And finally, you fire one last arrow into its last head, and the mighty Scab Goliath goes down.
Yes.
Yay!
Yay.
It's down.
Ugh, thank goodness.
Is there anything?
All right, the big boy's down.
I am done. Yeah.
Okay. It is now Siglinda's turn. You just got
Oh, yeah, 'cause
attacked
there's
by
no
a
Scab.
dagger. There's a floating dagger beside you. By the way.
Oh, it's still there?
Yeah.
I thought it just charged at me and hurt.
Nope. It's like hanging around you.
Ugh. Can I interact with it in any way?
You're pretty sure no.
Okay. I'm going to cast Spiritual Weapon
Oh,
with a nat 20, but I have to remember what it does.
Ooh.
Alright,
Yeah,
So-
you know the attack that she used on you, the spell she used on you was spiritual weapon.
okay. So, I have to move forward a little bit.
It's 60 feet.
Oh, it's 60 feet? Then I was good. Sweet! Oh yeah, range 60 feet.
Oh yeah.
So, I rolled a 25. I rolled a crit to hit her.
nice.
So, how do I roll the damage itself?
I think you-
Click it. I think.
The whole thing lights up. So if I click just the damage, I
On-
get a roll
You
again.
know, on the roll in the log, there's spiritual
Just
weapon.
click
Yeah.
where it says spiritual weapon.
Oh.
I think.
yeah,
That might
Okay.
work.
and do it for the one with the crit. Otherwise,
Oh, I tried to do that. Oh my goodness. No.
no, that's correct. 1d8
No,
plus 3 plus an
Plus
additional
your
d8.
spellcasting modifier, so you should be able to roll another 1d8, I think.
Yeah, this one down here did it for her. I think the 9 plus 2,
Hmm.
because 6 plus 3 plus 2.
But her spellcasting modifier is 2. Right?
Yeah, it's 6. So the result was 11
Oh, okay.
1d8 plus 3,
Yeah. Yes.
plus
which
2.
was 6 plus 3, plus the 2 for another d8.
Right. So it's total 11.
Yeah.
Yeah. Okay.
Okay. I
11
don't
it
get that
is.
other d8.
And
Okay.
so the unknown necromancer was distracted by Cheddar, almost got attacked by Cheddar, and reacted, if you will, to swap positions with the zombified remains of Eckhart. And as she points to Jareth that you're going to be next, she gets stabbed by... What does your spectral weapon look like?
Yeah.
Ooh. It's a throwing axe.
Oh, and then an axe slams into her back, and she shrieks in pain. She
Ow.
takes 11 damage.
Nice. Very nice.
It's the first time I use that spell. I'm feeling pretty good about it.
It's pretty good. And remember, you can use it like in following turns. As long as you're concentrating, you can use that as a bonus action. So you can still use like a spell while concentrating on this.
Sweet.
All right. It is now.
Wait, that means she has to roll a concentration check.
Oh yes, she does. Oh,
Yes!
she is concentrating on a spell. All right, let's concentration check. Okay. So it was 11 damage. Right.
Yep.
Okay. Yeah, she makes it.
Darn.
But she's like staggered and she glares at you.
Go.
She doesn't have
We
time
have
to
an
say
enemy.
anything, but she's glaring at you. It is now her turn, and she uses her bonus action to make an attack with her dagger once more. Her spectral dagger.
At me?
Yeah. I mean, it's right beside you. Ooh, and
But
she
she
manages
said
to
that
hit...
someone else was next.
I guess she changed her mind.
That's fair. I
You
did
did
just stab
hit
her
her
with
for
a
11
giant
damage.
hand axe.
It says, I guess you do know more spells. And she says, well, this will be fun then. And she commands her spectral dagger that's floating beside you to attack you again. And she rolled well. And she manages to hit you once more for 9 damage.
Ooh.
Hey.
And then she looks at, I guess, she looks at Cheddar, and she casts a spell on Cheddar.
Hey.
Cheddar has to make a wisdom save.
Okay. Okay.
He's a smart dog, right?
Wisdom, right?
Yes.
18.
And you hear Cheddar yelp in surprise and seize up his body as she does like a force choke type thing against him, but he shakes it off. He just like shakes off all that bad magic mojo, and
Just starts
he's
growling at
he's
her.
fine. Yeah, and then the lady, the necromancer, looks very surprised. And like looks at her hand, and then looks at Cheddar and looks at Valvius. It is now top of the order, Jareth, and could we have Siglinda roll 2d20?
Okay, I also think
2d6,
I need
sorry.
to roll a concentration check, but I don't know what to roll for that.
Oh, click on your concentration ability saving throw on your character.
So if I go to spells...
It should be on your character sheet. So if you go to character sheet and then you go to you see saving throws, Constitution, you just click that.
Oh, Constitution. Okay.
You keep the spell.
Nice. Alright, and then you wanted me to roll 2d6?
Yeah. Okay. All right. So again, the Cathar that came, that came to the rescue before, he charges into the battle, and attacks the necromancer, and actually manages to wound her on the side.
Nice.
But as he does it, he stabs at her at the side. But as he does this, she places a hand on his face and channels this dark energy directly into his face, and his face melts.
Oh.
And he goes to
Ew!
the ground.
Like Raiders of the Lost Ark melts?
That type of melt, yeah.
Oh.
But now she's bleeding on the side. She took some damage. All right, now it's your turn.
But now we have a Cathar with a melty face.
Yeah.
Alright, so Cheddar's angry, and I understand that he's angry. And I'm gonna let Cheddar bite at this woman again.
Okay.
Cheddar, you can do it. Get her good. Oh.
Yeah, Cheddar.
7 to hit.
7 is not enough to hit as she dodges out of the way.
Yeah, so Cheddar's really angry, so he jumps and dives at her. And she just like, okay.
Oh
Good
yeah,
dog.
it's a zombie. Zombie is gonna retaliate. Zombie attacks Cheddar. Zombie misses.
Okay, cool.
Eckhart, the armless zombie remains with Eckhart, tries to bite Cheddar, and Cheddar just dodges out of the way pretty easily.
That's fair.
Because Cheddar's the one that does the biting.
Yeah.
For now.
I'm also going to have myself move up next to Valvius and just kind of like put a hand on his shoulder, let him know that a friendly is here and not for him to hit me. It's like, hey, it's me. Don't hit me, please. And then I'm good.
What's up, Jared?
What
It's Valvius' turn. I'm gonna remove.
All right.
Actually, they'll be there. They'll be there.
I'm gonna walk over the 4 legs and 3 arms here. Saddle up next to Cheddar here. And I'm gonna swing at the witch. 9.
And a 9 is just not enough to hit her.
Used all my power.
But she's a little bit more nimble than the Goliath.
But wait, but I use my inspiration.
Okay.
I will have none of this today.
There we go.
Okay.
And you managed to. You that is enough to strike her.
All right, and then 1d4 radiant. 11.
And as you do so, she rings her bell in surprise. She looks at the attack that's about to hit her. She rings her bell, and it makes no sound, but she is ringing it. And swapping in her place as you strike her is the armless zombie remains of Eckhart.
And they just go
flying. You smash your warhammer into Eckhart, and you deal what? 11 damage?
11.
All right. And now it's the armless, headless version of Eckhart is just hobbling.
So it's just a pair of legs.
Well, he has a torso.
A torso and legs, okay.
Yeah. But he's still there. He's still up. He's just not looking very good.
Alright. I'm done.
I've heard this story before.
Yeah. I'm being more descriptive on how he's taking damage. Alright, it's Tristan.
Alright, I'm gonna fire at her then.
Okay.
The crossbow. Do I get sneak attack on the range because
Yes.
he's within? Yeah.
She's fairly engaged with like 2 things. And
You have 2 allies in melee range.
Oh!
23. Not a crit, but
Nice.
I mean, that
That's a
definitely
19.
hits.
yeah. And then
that seems very
16
lethal.
total.
Wow.
Does she have another ringy-dingy bell to use?
No, she was preoccupied ringing the bell of Valvius and getting hit in the neck, but not a lethal neck shot.
What?
She's bleeding heavily, alright? I don't know. The skirmishes go downhill after a while. Bear with me. She's barely hanging on at this point. She's kind of like gurgling, and she's looking scared.
Okay. I'm also going to move up. Which I think that was about 25 feet. So, 30 feet here. So we'll move up as well, so that I can approach melee if I need to. And then I am done.
Okay, well, it's Siglinda's turn now.
With my concentration still intact, I have this hand axe, and I slam it into the neck to finish slicing it off.
Oh, man.
So I just rolled damage.
We still have to hit her.
Oh, wait. Okay.
Yeah.
So I roll. What's that?
She does.
That's
I
it.
hit. So then I. What? Why is it only 4 force damage?
Because you rolled
Rolled a
a 1
one.
damage.
Aww, lame. My hover is like not working
Is
very
this
well
the
today.
toughest
So
neck we've ever seen?
It is. How much damage is
It was-
spiritual weapon?
it was
What's
4.
his base?
It's a D8 plus
A D-
3 force.
All right. Well, yeah. I mean, yeah, that's enough. And you smash your warhammer into her gashy wound, and her head just falls.
No, it's my spectral war axe. Or
The
my,
axe does
hand
the
axe.
chop. It's a clean chop, and the headless body and the head rolls off, and she goes down.
Great.
Are we sure she was evil? Did anyone check?
Yeah, did anyone talk to her? We just started
Nope.
firing stuff at her real quick.
I mean, there's still a zombie left.
She was playing with the zombies, and I we heard rumor of a teenage girl that was in charge of this army, so she seemed a lot like it.
It is now top of the order. No, yes. The zombie already moved. Eckhart already moved. All right, Jareth, it's your turn.
Bite him good.
Okay.
We're just gonna bite this guy. Arf. Oh god, he couldn't fail the bite. Cheddar! What are
I
you
was a little
doing?
too excited.
Headless, armless zombie
it's
remains
weird.
of Eckhart kind of lurches in the wrong direction, and Cheddar goes left, and Eckhart went right, and
With his tail between his legs, he just comes back over next to me after that.
Look,
And I pat him on the head. It's like, I know you tried. It's okay.
It is now Val's. He tried.
All right.
Tried.
Well, swing at the Warhammer. 16 to hit.
That's kind of hit.
That
Yeah,
hits?
that hits. How do you want to finish
All right.
Eckhart?
I just do an overhand chop and split him right down the middle like a log. His two
With a
legs just
warhammer?
fall. The pointy side of it. There's like
Okay.
a pointy side and a bludgeoning side. It was the pointy side this time.
Okay.
There you
and
go.
you split Eckhart in half, and Eckhart, the zombie remains of Eckhart, goes down.
Hurrah!
And with that,
We beat the bad guys.
you notice that a lot of the undead that were moving towards the gate from the outside, they all seem like they're moving now into daze, and they move aimlessly in other directions. And as you finish your battle, so too do the local militia and the conscripts, the townsfolk that you have armed. And they clean up the undead that were in the immediate vicinity, and they rush over to the gate and start barricading it with just whatever they can find. And slowly but surely, they start to seal the breach. And you hear cheers amongst the villagers, amongst Shadowgrange, as more and more of the undead are defeated, and people rally together towards this breached gate and send their reports. And soon afterwards, you find out that all the undead have been cleared out of Shadowgrange, have been repelled, and the ones that are still remaining in the valley outside are just moving around aimlessly. It seems like the battle has been won.
Yeah.
Good job, us. We're the best at killing zombies.
All right. So now it's still night, and the people of Shadowgrange have basically started fortifying the breach, cleaning up any undead that they can find, and after that they finally get some rest, finally move on a little bit, at least until the morning when they say they're going to start cleaning up.
I'd like to move around and see if there's anyone who is severely injured that could use my magical healing and won't be okay in the long run.
I'll help them fortify the gates. I'm used to fortifying. Fortified against werewolves before.
Okay, you find 3 severely wounded people who don't think they're going to make it through the night, and the what few priestesses and priests that are attending to the wounded, they are fully exhausted, and they're working with others as well.
Okay. I'm going to... Are there 2 nearby each other? Okay, so I'm going to cast Prayer Healing. And then on the 2 that are together, and then Cure Wounds on the other one, so that they won't die. Just enough to stabilize them, and they can heal on their own.
All right, I mean...
Playing with your blinds?
I almost knocked down my glass. But anyway, okay, so yes, they're not very hardy folk. These are just villagers. 4 is more than enough, and 8 is more than enough to heal most of the 8 basically brings them back to looking good as new, and the 4 is they're just left with minor scrapes and bruises. So
They'll be able to heal over the last next couple of nights.
Yeah, absolutely. So they thank you profusely. Blessings of Avacyn to you, hero, for aiding me, saving my life, and they say they'll thank you properly once everything settles down. All right. So the battle has been won, at least for now, and people seem to have finished, barricading and doing the final fortifications, cleaning up the last of the zombies and skeletons that are inside, and finally they get to have some rest.
Can we consult with what's her name?
Flora.
Yeah.
Priestess Flora.
Priestess Flora. Yeah. Can we consult with her and see if maybe she knows that if anybody would recognize the woman, the girl that
Do we
came
just
in
take
and
the
seems to be
head?
controlling everyone?
Or do we take like all of them? Do we just take her head with us, or do we just take like all of her with us?
We should just bring the priestess here.
Oh, that
Yeah, I
makes a lot
don't
more
drag
sense.
the dead body.
That's more what I was thinking. Like, go get the priestess, bring her over here, and be like, "Hey,
You recognize this lady?
That's a lot smarter. Do you recognize this?
how dare you desecrate the Temple of Avacyn?"
Okay, so
I like your idea. It's better. We're gonna go with that one.
you find Priestess Flora consulting with Captain Levy, who's captain of the local militia. Both of them give you a status report, like what you already know, essentially, that the town seems to be safe for now, and it doesn't look like there's any immediate threats. And they move over to the now cleaned up gates, and neither of them recognize this woman or her peculiar bell that she had in her hand.
Okay.
Oh, I'm gonna grab that bell.
Yeah. Well, we kind of I give a report to them, let them know, like, hey, this is, we were going to protect the front gate. This large scab came in. Shortly after she came in, she had this bell. She seemed to be controlling all of the creatures, all of the undead, large and small, to attack, because as soon as she was defeated, it seemed like they sort of lost their drive. Like, I don't want to say lost their motivation, but they weren't coordinated anymore. So she seemed to be the one controlling them, and we think this bell may have something to do with it. So,
And Priestess Flores says that yes, it usually the undead, they are more of these feral creatures. They attack whatever is nearby. They never organize unless they're led by a ghoul caller. So this must have been a very powerful ghoul caller to have amassed such a large army of them and directed them all to Shadowgrange. It's terrifying that she was able to do something like this. But we thank you for saving the town and stopping this madness.
perhaps someone from what was the name of the other city to the north again? I just don't have the map.
Moor-Dog.
Moor-Dog, yes.
I'll move to the...
Couldn't remember. I remember it started with an M, but yeah. Do you know if anyone from Moor-Dog might recognize her? That might be something that you want to get some people that you can trust from that area to see if perhaps she was local to them or is someone who they had seen in the past. So we can get maybe a little bit more information about where she came from.
Yes, absolutely. That's a good idea. When it's morning and when we finally have some chance to rest, we will definitely bring some of the refugees from Moor-Dog and see if we can identify her.
Also, is she human?
Is she human? Yeah.
Yes.
I'm gonna bring over a lantern of, I guess, a lantern of insight to go check out the ghoul caller spell. Just to look at it a little bit closer, shed some light on the situation.
So you check out this bell that has a mysterious skull on it, it has a word engraved on the skull in a strange language.
I'm sure I don't recognize it, but I ask around to see if anyone does.
I have multiple languages. Where are they hiding?
I think I just have Thieves' Cant, and that's it. Common and...
I know common. That is all I know.
Okay.
That's fair.
Where is it on the sheet?
It would be
character
under-
sheet, bottom left.
Yeah, bottom left, other proficiencies and languages.
Oh, there. Abyssal, Celestial,
I know
Common,
Goblin.
and Infernal.
Well, Siglinda knows what it says. It says in the language of Infernal, these are the language of demons. Devils. Language of devils. It says the word grave on it.
Oh, great.
Should we test it? What if
I'm not
what
reading
if
that thing.
what if
You
what
can
if
read
I
it.
like punch you lightly and you ring it? Will it work? What are we gonna do with this bell?
I don't know. We still have the alchemist last. I think we have enough magical things right now. I'm just gonna let
Yeah.
somebody else deal with the spell.
Let me just leave it at the church.
I'm gonna stuff some cotton in it so that it can't ring,
Oh,
Okay.
and then carry it with me until I have time to look at it closer.
All right.
that's fair.
So you hold on to it.
But it can't ring; it's stuffed full.
Yeah.
Of cotton.
Yes.
So Captain Levy kind of looks at the body, inspects her belongings, and he finds a crumpled up note. And he looks it over, and he says she seems to have been working with somebody, and he hands the note over to Tristan. And
All right.
the note basically says, it's a very short instruction. It just says, go to my alchemist shop, get all the equipment from
Aww.
from the bottom, and be hasty. Don't just go to Shadowgrange and then bring the bodies back.
So she was working with the alchemist. It's not good.
He wants the bodies. Should we just destroy them?
The ones that were in the basement of the alchemist shop?
Yeah. It
Did
seems
we
they're
accidentally
important.
set fire to the alchemist shop? Am I misremembering that?
Did we put it out
put
though?
it out.
We put it out.
Oh, I put it out.
Yeah. But then everybody went, then like the local militia kind of like got rid of the bad stuff.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, I
so the
was gonna
bodies
say,
are gone.
somebody went through and kind of destroyed everything or disassembled
Cleared
and
it.
got rid of it. Yeah.
Captain Levy can verify.
Yeah. Yeah, so what was the name of the person he was communicating with, the local alchemist?
Siegfried.
Siegfried?
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, and that's the one that ran into the Maurer estate, if I'm
Yeah.
not mistaken.
Yeah.
Right? That's what we learned
So
from the letter.
there's a good chance that she was sent here by him to gather the equipment from the local alchemist.
And we're still kind of wondering where the last part of the tuning fork is. It's probably with the woman that was kidnapped that we're actually here to find.
Yes.
Yep.
And we think that she's in the Voldarin estate. Is that accurate as
And they're
well?
the same direction.
Yep.
Yeah, so it sounds like we have a distinct plan.
Maybe.
The good news is it's
Sound
only
your
like
fourth.
30 feet away.
Perfect.
Should
That's
take
really
about
nice.
one round.
It's only 30 feet away if you're a giant. It's like 2 squares.
If you're world sized, it's 30 feet away.
So Priestess Flora, everybody there is exhausted, and they say we're going to have a town meeting tomorrow in the morning. But for now, I think it's important that everybody gets some rest.
Yeah, it looks like staying at the inn's going to be free right now. Some morbid humor for everybody.
And yeah,
But yeah, go back to the inn.
she solemnly hands Cheddar a little piece.
I knocked that out of her hand. Just straight up, don't care. Just knock it out of her hand. Was it cheese?
It was cheese.
I'm happy.
She has tears in her eyes. And she says, "One thing I could have done."
Yeah, that's a 20 on a save there, buddy. That cheese ain't going near that dog.
All right.
Okay, I see that she said. I take some jerky out of my pack and give it to her. Like, you can give him this instead.
Oh, She looks at the jerky. I suppose he really likes cheddar, but
I,
if she heads it to cheddar, and it seems like cheddar really likes the jerky.
yeah. All right.
It's like, oh, I guess I learned something today.
The
Maybe
more
I'll
you
stock
know.
up on jerky. And
Oh.
she heads over. She heads over to the chapel. Most people seem to be going to sleep, but there's guards being posted, obviously.
I'm just going to bed.
Yeah, same.
Same.
There's nothing
Okay,
else
I see
to be
everybody's
done
going to
tonight.
bed.
Everybody is
And-
sleeping.
Yeah, and with the siege done, Siglinda, you have the bell, right?
I do.
So I guess you'll be attuned to it tonight.
Yes.
I have to focus to attune to it.
Oh, do you? You
Yeah,
can't just
have
sleep.
you have to think about it for
Oh,
like a short rest or a long rest.
fine.
I'm not sure I want to attune to a weird magical bell without figuring out more of what it does.
That's a good point. We're gonna eventually be able to put a whole band together. We'll have the tuning fork, while the bell will have a magical jug.
I have my
you
cello.
You can make some sweet jams.
Just need a magical washboard and some magical spoons. We missed out on the magical fiddle. That thing just disappeared.
I
so.
know that would have been really cool.
A fiddle?
The
Wasn't it
violin,
the violin.
the
You
golden
have a
violin.
I thought it was still in the house.
No, Siglinda has it.
Oh.
Oh,
I
we
do?
could just be a whole magic band.
Alright, hold on. I'm
Yeah.
gonna totally
You
check
got
my
everything.
All right, well,
stuff. I totally have a magic violin.
dibs on playing the jug. All right, cool.
All right. Well, you all go to sleep.
Yeah.
I assume you all go to sleep. Siglinda has the bell, the mysterious bell. You get some rest, and you had a pretty eventful day, I would say.
Yeah.
You know, defeating a zombie horde and all
Yeah,
that, and a necromancer. So with that, you level up.
cool.
Yay!
And also, before we take our quick break, I'm going to show Siglinda overnight. I'm assuming you're going to study on the bell or no?
Yeah, in the morning when I wake up, I'm gonna study the bell.
Boom. It is actually
Boom.
a Ghoul Caller's bell.
Oh,
Ooh, the word grave is engraved on the skull in Infernal. Its chime is inaudible to the living, but the dead hear it loud and clear. You speak the word grave in Infernal while holding the Ghoul Caller's bell to conjure a fresh human corpse. The bell can't be used this way again until the next dawn. Ringing the bell allows you to cast Command as the second level spell, except it can only affect undead. The bell can't be used this way again until the next dawn.
Yay.
Okay.
Loot.
cool.
And with that, we're going to take a short break, and we'll be back with level 4 characters and continue the adventure. So, transition time.
Cool.
All right, we're back, and everybody is now at level 4. They leveled up. They rested through the night uneventfully, hopefully.
I hope so.
You found out what the Ghoul Caller's bell does. Yay. And it is dawn, and you know from what Flora said earlier that there's going to be a town meeting soon in the morning.
That makes sense. There probably should be. I imagine I would like to go to it.
Yeah, we should probably go find out what they.
Yeah, let's all go to the meeting.
All right, so outside of the chapel didn't take too much damage during this fight. It was more on the outside perimeter that it took the most attacks. Almost everybody has gathered here. You do notice there's there's less people than there were running about before. Some notable absences, but
This is me making a
are
podium.
here. Yeah. And Priestess 4, once everybody gathers around, oops.
There's no microphones in Innistrad.
Yeah, she just speaks. Whoa, oh, no, she has a spell for that. She casts a spell, and then suddenly her voice starts to boom and resonate above the crowd, above everybody, and she first calls for quiet and
Nice.
attention. And then once everybody hushes, she explains that the town has faced many hardships in the past. It's never been an easy life living in Stenzia, but last night was one of the hardest nights any of them have ever experienced and hopefully will ever experience. Undead came to eradicate them, and through their resolve, through their perseverance, united together. And then she motions over to the four of you, and with some strangers who became our heroes and champions, we managed to save Shadowgrams. We managed to save our people. And with that, there's a large cheer from the crowd.
Yay!
Huzzah!
And she says, our victory came at a very grave cost. Almost everyone has lost someone. And life will never be the same going forward. But we will do everything that we can to rebuild, and we will rebuild, because that is what the Stensian people are made of. We are hardy folk, and we will always persevere, and we will take the necessary steps to make sure this atrocity never happens again. And now we have special guests, and we mentioned them earlier, but the heroes of Shadowgrange. And she motions to you again. Please step forward. And she motions you to her little pedestal thing that was expertly drawn.
So, I'd like to say that Cheddar hears this and rushes up to the pedestal and puts his top paws on the thing and just looks at the crowd.
And there's like an aw.
And he barks. And then he comes back.
And there's like a little bit of a woo. All right. When she motions for you to come in front of the townsfolk.
All right.
Yeah.
So we just kind of step up, I guess.
She says, the heroes of Shadowgrange, they are not locals. They have not been born and raised in Stenzia even, yet they have stepped up. They came to this town and they defended the town with their lives. They cleansed the mayor's house, and they basically helped us save this town. So for that, we announced that you are going to be honorary citizens of Shadowgrange, and all provisions will be on the mayor, the town's treasury. You should not pay after what you have done. You should not pay any more for any of the services. So the people of Shadowgrange will take care of you, and there is a cheer from that.
Oh, okay. Well.
And then she says, but for more tangible gifts at this moment. Our town is not very rich, but we do have some gifts to show you our thanks.
Oh, you didn't have to do that.
And there's like some people, the crowd disperses a little bit, and there is a large chest that is being hauled over, and it is jingling with coins as they bring it over, and it's laid down in front of you. She said, "This is our payment. What we can offer to you as a town. We gathered this modest payment for saving us, and on top of that, there are two more people who would like a word." And Captain Levy stands up, and he goes over to Tristan, and he says, "We do not have fancy equipment that, could shock and awe the people of Gavany, the people of Thraben. However, we do have some very generous merchants. They run the Bountiful Heron," and he motions over to them, and this like old couple that work the Bountiful Heron store that you never visited. They kind of like sweetly walk over, and they go over to Tristan, and they hand you a warhammer. And they
Okay.
It's an exquisitely crafted warhammer.
All right. I thank you very much.
And the old lady kind of looks at you. The old lady looks at you, And she notices that you have your rapier on, right?
Yeah.
All right. She says, and she whispers over to the old man, and he kind of like nods, and he's like, if warhammers aren't really your thing, there's a neat little thing about it. And he motions over to the weapon again. Let me show you something.
Ooh.
Okay.
And he explains to you this weapon is quite unique. Nothing that I've ever seen before. It used to be I used to be an adventurer like you see, and this was quite a novel thing back in my day. Hopefully, you could put it to better use. And he thinks and he looks intently at the weapon, and suddenly you see the warhammer morphs into an exquisite rapier.
Oh.
Wow.
And he says, this weapon, just think of a weapon, and it will take the form in your mind's eye.
Okay.
That
That's
is fantastic.
the most
And then
fancy
he hands
thing.
it back to you as a sword.
All right. I'm going to zoom in on this for the people at home.
Nice.
It says, yes, we call it the Shapeshifter's Blade, because it can take pretty much any form that you desire. Any weapon you desire.
Nice.
So,
+1 weapons are
a
good,
versatile answer.
Yeah.
And then Captain Levy says, we have also others that can thank you. And the three sisters, the Moontouch sisters at the Fleeting Fox Provisions, they move forward and they move towards Jareth. And they hand you this odd-looking bow. It seems like it's made out of wood. It still has like blooms and these weird spores covering it. And they say, this is our most cherished bow. It was blessed by the Dryads back from Kessig when we used to roam there. It will serve you well in your travels. It is attuned to nature, and nature will protect you. They call it a Viridian longbow.
Nice.
Couldn't find any bows in Innistrad. Anyway.
Glow
Yeah,
spores.
it
All right,
has a
zoom in
long
on this thing.
to it.
+1 bonus to attack and damage roll with this weapon. When you hit a creature with this weapon, you can choose to activate the spores to be outlined with a glowing green light until the end of my next turn. For the duration, the glowing creature shares dim light. Any attack roll against it has advantage if the attacker can see it, and the affected creature can't benefit from being invisible. Can't be used again in this way until the next dawn. Well, that is awesome. I say
Really cool.
thank you so much. I truly appreciate it. And Cheddar and I say thank you. And I bow, and like Cheddar gets down a little bit too. Does like a little doggy bow, and then barks, and we step back.
And they bow to you, and they move back into their spot in the crowd. And Priestess Flora says, this is as much as we can thank you for now, but know that you are always welcome in Shadowgrange. You are now citizens of Shadowgrange, and we will take care of you as much as we can. And there is a cheer from the crowd as the ceremony concludes.
Alright, so I'm just turning my regular longbow into the Viridian longbow. I think that's appropriate.
Yeah.
And let's see if that
Alright.
works.
Updated and giving myself a new one. So.
Yep. +4, dex +1, and then damage. Works correctly too. Cool. Alright. Good job, roll 20. So easy to work.
Nice.
That's awesome. So now, they just gave us a chest, right?
Yeah.
Yes, the chest. Oh, yes. Okay. You're looking at the contents, yes?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
So it has a lot of coins. You find what amounts to about 500 gold pieces in it.
Jeez.
Yeesh. I think that maybe instead of accepting 500 gold, since we are still on our quest, we talk to Priestess Flora and see if perhaps we can make sure that the city uses this to help rebuild the wall and help the displaced people from was it Moor-Dog?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
To get back to where they are, and then we just try and we just see if we can get the equipment and provisions that we need to continue our quest.
Yeah, I would rather decline the money as well.
We just couldn't do it publicly. That would have been rude.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah,
well,
exactly.
Yeah, you visit her shortly after. She's again praying at St. Traft's memorial inside of the church at the statue, and she is surprised, but smiles at you and thanks you for returning the gift, because yes, they could use that to help rebuild Moor-Dog, help accommodate the refugees, and help rebuild Shadowgrange. And as a token of her appreciation, she goes over to her own office and she pulls out two warhammers. They're again exquisitely done. The handle itself is formed, looks like a heron's wing, and they're wrought of silver, blessed silver. And she hands one to Siglinda, and she hands one to Valvius, and she says, "These are my personal warhammers. I do not usually fight with my hands, so hopefully they will be of better use to you."
Thank you very much.
Awesome.
And she says, if there is any other equipment that you need, sure, go to any of the stores. They will gladly provision you as they can reasonably do.
Okay. So yeah, I think maybe we just gather what we need for the rest of this trip. If there's any sort of, if anybody needs any more rations or anything like that, or if we've used any of our provisions, we just stock up, get our horses, get food for the horses and the carriage,
and Moor-Dog, right?
and head up to Moor-Dog and
Moor-Dog and beyond.
beyond. Yeah.
Maybe we might want to stop in at the with the Woman of the Fleeting Fox, armor up the horses if they have any of that on hand already. I have a feeling that they may be attacked while we ride through.
That is true.
And then, did anybody recognize the woman? I apologize.
Oh yeah, okay. So the refugees stop by, and they do. One of them does recognize her. She isn't from Moor-Dog, but she is a person from Stenzia. Apparently her name was Renilda Smith, and her parents were killed horribly by a local ghoul caller near the Far Bog. Her town was destroyed, her parents were lost, and this teenager decided not to stay with any of the people from Moor-Dog. She wandered on. She stopped by for provisions. She would wander on, living her life out in the wild by herself.
Okay. Smith.
And that was years ago.
Cool.
Yeah. Sounds good.
Let's. I'm good in the town at this point, so I'm gonna kind of yield. I'm gonna F6 until you guys are ready to head out.
Yeah, F6 as well.
Yeah, same.
I think we're ready to
I'm
just
ready
head out. So we're gonna.
Okay.
Are we gonna go to Moor-Dog, or are we gonna go to the
seems
estate via Moor-Dog? Moor-Dog is an empty
Yeah.
village at this point, right?
Right. It seems like the place we can go and then go. Right. Yeah. So.
Yeah, we can probably maybe find some information in Moor-Dog before we continue on.
Because we got to find a way through the Far Bog swamp to the Mauer estate, and then finally to the Voldaran estate.
Mm-hmm.
And should we escort the refugees back to? There's no one in Moor-Dog, right? It's gone.
Should be mostly abandoned.
Yeah. So
yeah,
are
maybe
we?
a couple of zombies here or there. That's a good idea. Maybe you should ask them.
All right. Then. Let us head to
Okay,
the refugees and. Are they good enough to return, or should they just stay in Shadowgrange?
I mean, they're willing to return and see if there's any survivors and pick up where their life left off.
Yeah.
They'll just need a little bit of protection getting there.
Yeah. Maybe get that.
So they can travel
and
with
then
us.
and some villagers from Shadowgrange itself to help rebuild Moor-Dog.
Yeah. And yeah, if you ask around, some people are willing to help with the escort and help with the traveling over to Moor-Dog, since it seems like Shadowgrange has now been secured for the most part. However, there was one peculiarity that Captain Levy brings up to you, and he says that there are a bunch of wagons, these large wagons, stationed outside of Shadowgrange in the valley.
Huh.
Are they full of oil?
Yeah.
He noticed that some of them had piles of bodies in there. And it seemed like the bodies were of people from Shadowgrange.
The zombies were working on it.
No,
they were probably collecting the bodies to bring back. Remember, that's what she was trying to do.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
So we should... I don't think they go for pyres here.
No, they're going to give everybody a proper burial.
Sounds
That's
great.
what they're like working on at the moment.
Okay, good.
But yeah, they also see that the wagon wheels are like leading back to Moor-Dog.
Okay.
We
should go stop that before they become
wagons?
more
the
zombies.
wagon tracks, like it seems like they came from Moor-Dog.
They're trying to...
And then parked.
They took empty wagons to Shadowgrange to fill them up and take them back to probably Mauer Estates.
That makes sense. Alright, well, I mean, the villagers clearly have this handled as far as the burying of the dead. I don't think we should spend a week burying all these people.
No, they'll handle it.
Yeah. So, yeah, I guess we just continue.
Yep.
Mm-hmm.
All right. So, with the refugees, the people from Moor-Dog in tow, along with some of the people willing to help from Shadowgrange, you journey over to Moor-Dog. And you notice that in the direction, you notice that there's the wagon tracks that have been coming from Moor-Dog towards you. Also, so many tracks of zombies and undead and stuff that have been leading towards Shadowgrange as well. So it's pretty easy to follow, and your journey takes about a day.
Mm-hmm.
And after a day's ride, along with all the people that you're taking along with, you reach Moor-Dog, and it looks like it's been knocked down. Most of the buildings have been destroyed, and it's just like there's almost nothing left of it. And that's basically, if you left in the morning, you're basically reaching it at night.
I guess we talk to the refugees and see if there's a place where we could rest up. Is there any housing or a domicile?
Make a survival check.
Sure. I'm all right at those. Boop. Never mind.
All right. Well, I mean, there are a lot of there's some intact houses.
This really looks burned down over here.
Yeah, there's some farms, intact houses.
Kick a wall and it crumbles down.
Yeah,
oh, shoots.
That's probably not the best one.
All right.
So yeah,
Thoughts?
You can take your pick.
I guess I look for a house that has some tacking that we can tie the horses to for the night. Maybe a bowl or a trough where we can water them, hopefully.
I'm going to look around to see if there are any survivors, even though it's not very likely.
True. That's smart, too.
Make a search check. Is there a search check? Investigation check? Search check?
Investigation.
Yeah.
You're going to investigate.
3.
Nope.
You did not make a clue.
Not find anything.
I will
No
also
clues.
investigate.
I
These
mean,
are some-
you help some of you hear some yelling in some of the rubble, some muffled yelling, and you, along with some people from Moor-Dog, go over and find there's the broken ruins of a cellar, and some people were hiding in there.
Oh, we did save some people.
Yay!
Yay!
Good deed check. Actually, something
It's
a
5
lot
people.
more productive. I'm gonna ask around to the people of Moor-Dog and see if there's anyone that's been through the Far Bog marsh before.
Okay.
Like if there's a tracker or a local guide or anything.
Yeah, I was gonna say a guide is probably what we want.
Make a... Was it gather information? Is there gather information still, or is it just investigate?
Still
Investigation. It's all kind of lumped together.
Well, let's do investigation.
Okay.
Wow.
I
Very good.
investigated.
Woo!
You do, as you're talking amongst the people of Moor-Dog, a lot of people have advice about the Far Bog. They have a lot of tips, but not a lot have actually entered very far into it. Maybe they went to the outskirts to gather some supplies, but you do find one person, one ranger, who has ventured into the Far Bog pretty far deep into it, and he feels comfortable enough to travel around. However, he's not willing to go in there.
That's fair. Has he
Okay.
has he
Kinda
been
what
to
I
the
assumed.
Mar estate inside?
He says no, because from what I understand, it is a haunted place and vampires live there. Or live there. I don't know. So we were explicitly told never to go too close to the Moor estate.
Would it
Okay.
make more sense for us to... This is with Ranger Rick here. Would it make more sense for us to enter into the marsh here and go up? Or should we travel town to town and then try and come at it this way?
Straight ahead is the way most people would go in. That's the way I would go in. And in fact, there was a stranger from Shadowgrant, she said, who came by months ago, maybe like 3 months ago, and I directed him for the same reason. He also said he wanted to go to Moor Estate.
Huh. I wonder who that was.
So we directed him to go just straight on ahead.
Did he look like a guy whose name would be Siegfried?
Perhaps he had a Siegfriedy type face.
He had a Siegfried face. Alright. So, I mean, I guess the answer is going to be to go straight ahead. Is there...
Are there any
What do you
dangers
think?
in the swamp?
Yeah.
Anything we should be aware
And
of?
like all the people of Moor-Dog are telling you, yes, very dangerous. And we have some tips for you if you would like to listen.
Yeah, I'll take a tips
Yeah.
and trick guide.
So
Yeah.
there's one of the people who Siglinda saved earlier. He tells her, never stare into a hellhound's eyes or it will devour your soul.
Great.
Okay.
And then an old lady goes over to you and says, eat wormwood and other bitter herbs. It will make you less palatable to things that roam the night.
Awesome.
And then she gives you some wormwood. And then some people say travel by day and rest at roadside shrines at night. If you hear howling at midnight, someone closer to you will die. Be quiet while traversing the ancient grafts inside the Far Bog, or else you'll wake the dead. Pale ghosts are the friendly kind, except when they're not. Travel by night and rest at roadside shrines by day. If a black cat crosses the road in front of you, it's a sign of bad luck, and you're going to be devoured by a hellhound.
Okay.
So, just
Okay.
double checking. We heard both travel by night and travel by day?
Well, one of them are saying travel by night and travel by day.
Great. I just shake my head and just sit down.
Yeah, I don't know if any of this advice is useful.
Yeah.
They maybe just be old wives' tales, but
There are some
Sounds-
Well, wives' tales all come from
yeah,
truth.
sounds like there are
at least
hellhounds in there.
initially.
Yeah, that part's I'll take. And apparently we shouldn't stare into their eyes. We've killed hellhounds already? Question mark?
They do.
Are those what was in the cave or no?
Yeah, what are those?
Those were...
There were definitely hounds.
Yeah.
of some kind.
Wargs or something.
Alright. Well, it's nighttime now. I guess we should
This
rest
is a
up so
weird
we can
place.
head out in the morning, right?
Or should we travel through because it's nighttime and rest by day
Ah.
at the
One of them's
shrines?
one of the people is saying, yeah, absolutely go by night. And the other one's telling you, No. Daytime only.
Who looks more trustworthy? Who looks more
in
like
for
the
daytime
adventuring
only.
type?
Make a insight check.
Hey,
Yeah, I'm more apt to travel by day
As am I.
because vampires and werewolves and spirits are all night dwellers, generally.
Okay.
Don't care.
All right.
Is this one of those situations where one of them always tells the truth and the other always tells a lie?
They don't. They seem sincere.
Okay.
But Valvius has an inclination that maybe he wants to go by day and not by night.
okay,
He's like, this rings a little bit better to me.
that makes sense.
They don't seem like they're lying to you.
So let's rest up and head out in the morning.
Yeah.
Sounds good.
Okay. Okay.
I tie up the horses, water, take off the armor.
Quick question. Would it suck if it went to 6:15 instead of 6?
That'd be
I'm
fine.
fine with that.
Fine? Okay. Okay. Alright. Thank you.
Your accuracy down to the 15-minute.
No,
I know.
I was thinking what to keep and what to not.
I guess I'll take first watch while I'm tending to the horses. Because there was recently a large zombie horde that rolled through here, and I don't really super trust the dilapidated area we're in.
I don't know that we need
High
watches.
is good or low is good?
High is good. Got a high roll.
You should not see this. And I do this correct.
Nope, I see it.
We see it.
Dang it. That's 1 second. Online roller. Should have been a GM roll. All right. High is good.
Yeah, high roll.
Yep.
Okay. All right. So your night goes by for the first 3 hours uneventfully. The final hour, however, you hear like screams amongst the people of Moor-Dog. Apparently, there's geists, like angry. The angry geists of the dead are still restless.
Oh, I wake Siggy, and I'm like, hey, there's some guys roaming around. We should probably go save these people.
Yeah, let's go. Let's go cleanse some souls.
Do you think we need to wake? We should probably wake the other two, right?
At least Valvius. He knows a lot about cleansing souls as well.
And everyone's rested up. We'll force Tristan into this too.
Y'all got your good 3 hours sleep.
Yeah.
I mean, we can sleep in the morning, and we can
No need to
have
be
a
rested.
gap in the middle of the night. We'll be okay. We'll get a full night's rest, even if we start at 10 o'clock.
I feel like I'm heading over there, and for some reason, Cheddar's already 20 feet in front of me, running over. I'm actually just following him at this point.
Yeah.
All right. So Cheddar kind of boops out of existence, turns into a spectral form, reappears somewhere further out, and starts yelping or barking.
Right. I'm gonna go there.
Okay. And when you catch up, there's some very spooked residents of Moor-Dog, but the geists that they say existed, they say they disappeared off into the mountains.
Okay. I go to the residence with Siggy, and I say, this is Siglenda. She's a paragon of Avacyn, and she will make sure that you have a blessed rest tonight. Then I kind of step back and I look at you, and I'm like, I hope you can do that.
Do everything I can.
One of the heroes of Shadowgrange, of course, we know her.
Yeah.
So yes, you guys can begin your rest. I will be here watching over you and praying to Avacyn. If you feel compelled, all voices land on Avacyn's ear graciously.
And they immediately trust your words wholeheartedly, especially because they were in Shadowbranch, so they saw the whole thing, and they thank you profusely, and they're very exhausted, so they immediately go to bed.
Yeah, I invite them to.
So
sleep
hopefully
at our
they'll
camp
all
if they
pray
want,
and then go to bed. And I will stand this next watch, focusing mostly on the citizens, but also on just like the whole area around.
Okay.
Yeah. Get some rest. I apologize for waking Tristan and Valvius. Sorry, guys.
If there had been angry geists, we would have probably needed their help.
Yeah, that's understandable. And I do know my geists, so
That's accurate.
Can't be angry. All right. Siglinda, high is good or low is good?
Low is good.
Okay, so you sleep for another 4 hours, or rest for another 4 hours, and it goes by fairly uneventfully.
Good.
Seems like the town of village of Moor-Dog is quiet. And after your watch ends, or as your watch ends, the sky brightens a little bit as just the crack of dawn appears.
All right, and then I'm getting pretty tired, so I'm gonna go over and wake up. I don't know. I'll wake up Tristan and say, "Hey, can you take those last few hours of watch? I think I'm about to fall asleep."
Yep, of course.
And then I'm gonna curl up, probably in Tristan's warm blanket, and fall asleep really fast.
Just help yourself, I guess.
Okay.
I mean, it's what I do.
And the day has arrived, and the people are about, and 4 hours more pass by uneventfully, and you all had a long rest.
Yep. So I make sure that they all get up.
I brush off your bedding and roll it up all nicely for you and say,
Aw.
"Thanks for letting me fall asleep. I didn't realize I was quite that tired."
Yeah, not a problem. Just get back on the bag. Alright, so we should probably get something to eat and then make our way up into the Far Bog.
Yep.
Yeah.
They brought food on their journey, so they hand you the rations, like share their rations with you. And they give you their fondest farewells. And
Did we ask the person who said that they had been through and were not going to guide us? Did we ask if the Far Bog actually would permit a carriage and horses?
Oh, yeah. That's a really good point.
Yeah.
Or is this... Yeah, because if there's not actually, like, a trail, and if it's a swamp, there's a good chance
Yeah, we
that,
might
like,
just
the
wanna
carriage
ride
just
horses.
not even going to make it through, so...
Maybe horses
Well-
will make it through.
Yeah.
Right.
you notice that there's these big wagon tracks, and also the footsteps of the horde. They went right through Moor-Dog, and they came from the Far Bog.
Far Bog. Okay.
Okay.
So if we're confident that the carriage can make it through, then that's good. It's just going to leave it to them if that's they're in need at the moment for things like that, but might get us quicker, and we can resolve this a little bit faster if we keep it.
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
Do we know who's like kind of in charge of the Far Bog or the Moor-Dog area too? Like who was like the leader of the refugees?
Yes.
Random name generator.
Just like I just like whoever was like maybe like a town elder or somebody who was at least in charge. If we had met them before, I'm just going to approach them before we leave and make sure to hand them 40 gold
Okay.
out of my stash and just say like make sure that you get your village built back up. This is all I can spare at the moment, but you definitely need more than I do at the moment, so.
Okay, and you like spot the person who's kind of doing most of the organizing.
Yeah.
And she seems like the most charismatic amongst them, and is getting the restoration process organized and everything, and she gladly accepts the 40 gold. She knows it's going to go a long way.
Yeah.
And
I do this away from my companions because I have a reputation to uphold.
Thanks to you, Tristan, hero of Shadowgrange, and restorer of Moor-Dog. I wish you the best on your journey.
Thank you. All right, so then we can take off.
Yep.
Yeah, I'm good. We'll follow the tracks in, because obviously they were
Next.
going to the estate.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I'm gonna climb in the carriage.
I'll be top.
Yep, I'll be on top driving.
Okay, so you start to move into the Far Bog. And you're going in at the daytime or nighttime?
Yes.
Daytime.
Yeah.
Final option?
Yes.
Final
option.
answer.
Final
All
choice.
Final choice. Okay. And you start going in there, and indeed, the Far Bog is a swamp. There is mostly ground to walk on, but it's also just muddied, and there are parts that are more difficult to go through and parts that are less difficult to go through. You see a bunch of like petrified, like it used to be. It looks like it's kind of like a foresty swamp thing. Give me a second, actually. I had something written for this. Yes, the grassy plains of the valley dampens into inky black muck as you enter the Far Bog. Barren pine trees sink into the mud at odd angles,
Ooh.
creating a tangle of dead trunks. A dreary gray mist envelops the area. And it kind of looks like that.
Now I'm only
And
just
you-
thinking of different Innistrad cards that are trees that end up killing you. And there's too many of them, is the answer, actually.
A couple. There's only a couple.
There's cool trees of perdition, that random mythic that everyone got angry about. Redemption trees. Yeah.
That one is actually...
Just make sure you don't have exactly
Gavin.
13
Yeah.
hit points.
Alright, so, yeah, you enter, and there's still, like, very clear tracks of the large undead horde that recently came here southward to Moor-Dog and to Shadowgrange. And you also see there are wagon tracks, thick wagon tracks that are left very visible print in the mud. And they're moving towards the direction of Maurer Estate.
I point them out to Tristan and I go, we should probably follow these, right?
Yeah, I believe so. We got to keep an eye open just in case there's any sort of possible, undead or something along the way.
Cool.
On this trail, since this is where they were coming from, most likely.
I'll focus on keeping the carriage upright. You'll keep your eyes out for
Yep.
anything
so
nefarious.
I'm gonna actively keep my eyes out,
Cool.
keep a watch.
I pat
Okay.
Cheddar on the head, who randomly appeared between us. Keep going.
So, as you make your way through the Far Bog, you come across like a sunken metal fence that is kind of in your path, and you could easily step over it. It's mostly being claimed by the muck, and beyond it, you see basically just like a field, and sticking out of it in odd angles are these just like little stone monuments.
It's a graveyard.
Do the tracks go through this? Or
Yes. The tracks move through this.
I rein in the horses, and I bang on the window to have Siggy take a look.
Alright, pop my head out and I'm gonna see if I know anything. What should I roll?
Religion check.
Oh, cool.
I know about these.
Oh,
Good
yeah,
religion.
Definitely a graveyard.
Yeah, definitely a graveyard.
And you also notice, with your religion check, you have like a knowledge of where exactly there would be like a full directory of where all the people would be, like a monument would be generally at the front of this graveyard, the graph, and it would like say what this graveyard is for, like who are here, like what are the people are buried here for.
Okay.
From yeah.
So
and locating it's like nearby.
I asked Siggy, do you have an idea what we should be doing here? I don't really like going through graveyards and spooky swamps.
Well, there's clearly this is clearly a graveyard. There will be a ledger just ahead here. We can see information about this graveyard and who is here, and just learn some more about it before we march through.
Sure. That sounds like a good idea to you, Tristan?
Yeah.
All right, I guess
Probably our best bet at the moment.
we drive in the
I'm
direction
gonna
that
march
Siggy
off.
pointed.
Yeah.
Okay, not too far away, out like west, along the perimeter of this graph, the graveyard. You find a large monument that is mostly claimed by the muck, but sticking out. It also is like very poorly worn, and you can't read too much on it. But
Okay.
there's like a title of it, and it says "The People of," and there's like a barely legible title beside it. It looks like this. You can barely read it. The dashes are just the letters that you are no longer legible.
The people
But you see by
of
the
Askville.
spacing.
There's no village around here.
Yeah.
Why
Yeah.
would there be a graveyard in the middle of the
It's
swamp?
a very old graveyard.
It's very old, yes.
So it's possible this village has been gone for a long time. I wonder if this is where some of the bodies that assailed Shadowgrange came from.
Yeah, that's what I'm wondering myself.
I mean, does this change our decision? Do we follow the tracks to the graveyard, or do we try and find a way around?
Yeah, I mean, this doesn't tell us much. There's no one to ask, so
No.
I think we just go
I think
forward.
we just continue along the trail and keep an eye out, because this is higher likelihood for geists and zombies.
Baskerville? Is that a place?
That's a Sherlock Holmes thing, but yes.
Cool. We're Sherlock Holmes now.
Yes.
Nice. Yeah, I guess I turned the horses back around to follow the tracks to the graveyard.
Okay, and you notice that the horde moves right through. The horde tracks moved right through.
Yeah, okay, yeah.
From the other direction, they went to Moor-Dog.
And then you notice there's a large zombie
horde.
horde also moving with you through the graveyard.
They were just all nailing their stealth checks. All
That's why you were clicking so much. Just rolling 100
Like-
stealth checks every
Yeah,
5
like
minutes.
300 of them. And just gotta
Oh.
make sure each one.
Keep rolling. What are you doing? Nothing. They're all just hiding. It's fine.
Mass perceptions are very low.
We go slow, though, right? To keep a low profile. Like, we can't really sneak
Yeah.
with a carriage, but we kind of try and
Yep.
sneak with a carriage.
Okay. High is good, low is good.
What do you think?
Let's get Valvius.
High is good.
High is
High
good.
roll.
All right. And you make your way through this graph, what remains of the graph. Most of the tombstones have been enveloped by the muck, and it looks mostly like a field, except there are just reminders every once in a while of like these stones sticking out with barely legible writing. And you travel through this deep muck, and eventually you see like just the metal sticking out, the outside perimeter on the other side. And again, the tracks continue forward deeper into the Far Bog, northeast towards the state.
Keep going.
Yeah, I mean, we're going to quickly look around to make sure there's nothing out of the ordinary, but then we're going to keep going.
You notice that just like on the other, like around the perimeter of this fence, are these weird looking mushrooms that stand out to you as a ranger.
Oh, that's right. Aren't there those weird flowers in this area too?
Oh, yes,
There are
the money flowers.
Yeah, the money flowers.
Oh, right.
Did you?
I forgot about money flowers.
I am pretty good with nature.
Sanguine lotus.
Yeah, I noticed the mushrooms, and kind of hop off real quick to take a closer examination.
Those are
Make a check.
like a medical thing, right? They use them for medicine or
Nature
something?
check.
Nature check.
For the mushrooms,
I know nothing about these mushrooms.
you get really close.
I do.
Uh-oh.
Yeah,
All right,
I get really
you
close
check-
to take a good look at them.
You check it out, and they're mushrooms.
Cool. I pick one.
It seems like the mushroom is growing in your hand.
Oh, great! I hold it up, and I'm like, "Hey, these things are getting bigger."
Maybe put it down.
Oh, I don't though. I come towards the carriage and I show it to you closer. What do you think this is?
Okay. Everyone
do I
make
think
a
it is?
Constitution save.
A constitution save. Great.
Yeah.
Ah, cool.
Nope.
All of us?
Okay.
Aw, man.
Did I just poison the party on accident?
Tristan
Yep.
is
Yes.
starting to sweat, and he also sees that the mushroom seems to be shrinking in his hand. Jareth has like this large mushroom in his hand. And Siglinda is seems like it feels like somebody's watching you, Siglinda.
Guys, there's people watching us.
Okay.
Watch out.
All right. I show it to Valvius, and I'm like holding it in both hands like this at this point. What do you think this is? This thing is huge.
It looks normal size, Valvius.
It looks normal sized.
Yeah.
But it's so tiny.
It's the biggest mushroom.
I believe our friend has lost his mind.
And Jareth, you just see like poison starting to pour out of the pores of all of the mushroom, and it's seeping onto your hands.
Oh, I just throw it behind me. And I take out the alchemist jug and say pure water and splash all over my hands and my face.
Okay. And you drench yourself in water. Yeah, it looks like blood to you, Tristan. He's just covering himself in blood.
Why are you doing this?
I gotta wash my hands. There's poison on the mushroom. I gotta wash my hands.
Why are you washing your hands with blood?
It's not blood, it's water.
No, it's not.
And
Here, have some. I start splashing the water on him.
Guys, there's something there!
What?
Okay, I'm gonna go to Siggy here. And I'm gonna cast Lay on Hands. I can use 5 HP to cure a disease or neutralize a poison affecting the creature. Siggy looks like she's freaking out a little.
Yeah, there's something after us.
So I cast Lay on Hands.
Okay.
Yeah.
So you use that 5 or whatever?
I use 5, so I have 15 remaining.
Sure. And once that happens, you feel a friendly hand on your shoulder, Sulinda, and the growling subsides, and everything just kind of... You didn't really recognize it, but it seemed like all the trees around you were getting, like, grasping at you, and you were, like, kind of shrinking into the monk. But when Valvius puts his hand on you, everything kind of goes back to normal.
I hug him up
And you
and say,
just-
thank you,
You also
Valvius.
just, but Tristan and Jareth are not doing so.
I'm still just
Yeah,
splashing water at Tristan.
Yeah,
To wash him off.
who's closest to me? I head to the next one.
They're both.
I head over to Jareth here, who's like apparently washing himself with blood.
There's just like,
But he's actually
taking
just doing
off the
nothing. He's just
poison.
actually just scraping himself.
No,
It's just water.
drenched in water.
I'm splashing water at Tristan now so he can get clean too.
So I put my hand on his shoulder and lay on
All right.
hands.
I'm running away from him.
Lay on hands. Use another 5.
He's throwing blood at me.
Oh, and then I look down and I'm like, oh, that wasn't one of those good mushrooms, was it?
I look at him disappointingly. I thought he was the ranger here, but he just poisoned the entire party.
Sorry. I look at Cheddar and I say, "Go get him." And Cheddar runs after Tristan and kind of like nicely corrals him back.
All right.
Tristan, there's a hellhound chasing you.
I also heal up Tristan here.
I guess Tristan tires out at some point.
Great.
Just in a ball on the ground.
All right.
Covered in
Good job, guys.
So, yeah, hellhound is just like growling over.
Let's not touch random plants we find in the suspicious bog.
Yes,
That's fair.
Not a good plan.
We won't do that again. Cheddar, come.
All right. Everyone composed. We can head back to the Bower Estate.
Yeah.
I guess we all clamber back up and just don't talk to each other anymore. Just start driving again.
Okay. So you continue on through the Far Bog. You've been traveling like a full day now. It's about evening, and you're making good headway towards where you believe the Moor Estate should be. It shouldn't be too much further now. You should reach it by nightfall. And up ahead, you spot off in the distance. Again, it's mostly just like field and petrified trees, lone trees around. So your distance is not really obscured. There's just like a low-hanging mist, but otherwise, about like 300 feet away in the mist, you see emerging from the mist are two humanoids and what looks like a wagon, and it's moving away from you. It's moving in the direction of Moor Estate.
I ran in the horses a little bit, as quietly as possible.
Mm-hmm.
Nay! Like a low neigh, not a high neigh. Low.
Okay.
And knock on the little slide thingy and open it to show him what's going on. There's people ahead, and they have a cart. There's things ahead. It's probably some more zombies. What would you like to do?
Is it the alchemist?
They're in mist, and they're very far away, and I don't think we can see them anymore, so I'm not sure.
Yeah, at that point, if you stop, they get swallowed up by the mist again.
Are they going the same direction we are?
No, they're heading... Yeah, they are. They're heading in the same direction.
Okay.
Just follow them, I guess. I mean...
Yeah.
Are we on
No
the
reason to
thought
stop
that
now.
the alchemist is evil? Should we be trying to avoid his detection, or should we be calling out to him?
I feel like we can...
Well, he's not doing good
Yeah.
things. So I'm gonna go with he's probably not our ally.
Okay, let's just try to keep a distance, and I guess if he finds us, he finds us. I mean,
Yeah.
I don't know what else is there to do, right?
I agree. That sounds like a good idea, though. So we'll just slowly just follow behind. Okay. I'm good for that.
Can.
So you keep like a pace with
Mm-hmm.
them?
I guess. Yeah.
All
But we
right,
just
so
keep
you
a lot of room.
So you notice following and looking into the mist, it is a wagon, and it seems like it's being dragged by two humanoids.
Oh,
Oh,
the wagon itself is being dragged.
Yeah.
like normal-sized humanoids, or like Scab Goliath humanoids?
Yeah, like four-legged, eight-armed scab
Normal
Goliaths.
size. They're pretty slow. It seems like it's a very heavy wagon for these two humanoids to drag, but they're doing it. Slowly but surely, they're doing it.
Should we just...
After getting a better look at these guys, I look at Valdius and I'm like, maybe we just... I don't like going slow.
Yeah, maybe we should just ambush.
Yeah, let's do this one. Let's ambush. How far
Let's
away
see
are
who
they?
they are before we kill them.
Oh yeah, that's a good point.
alive or not before we
Yeah.
Yeah.
re-kill.
If they're alive or unalive. Undead.
So you move even closer?
Yeah.
Well,
Can we
maybe
break off the
stop
path
carriage?
and go parallel to them and come in front of them, or is it just like one path?
You could go around them. It's like a pretty open field.
Oh.
Do we want to like stealthily come up on
Yeah.
them as individuals, or do we want to actually use the carriage?
We can also send someone out to scout.
That's what I'm wondering. Yeah. Like, do we want somebody to scout?
Yeah.
Do we
I can
want
run up
multiple
ahead
people to
with
go?
Maybe Jareth and Cheddar
with
can
Cheddar.
go up ahead and see what they are.
Sure.
Yeah.
I hand the reins over to Tristan, and I look at him seriously, and I say, "Don't mess this up." And then I jump down. Because clearly I've been a saint the whole time. I didn't
Yeah.
poison the entire party or anything.
Yeah.
And use our alchemist jug for pure water as the one time today or anything.
Not at all.
Didn't do any of those things. And I called Cheddar down with me, and then we're gonna try and sneak up on the people in the carriage.
Okay, if you try to sneak up, you have to make a stealth check.
That sounds appropriate.
Sneaky, sneaky.
And if you have heavy armor, you have disadvantage.
I do not. I have light armor.
See? Light armor. Helpful.
I guess.
17. All right.
17. So I exit the carriage, and with Cheddar by my side, I just slowly start sneakily pacing through the woods, kind of like I used to do in Kessig,
How close do
when
you
trying
wanna
to
get?
track a prey.
How close do you want to get?
10 feet away. If they look undead, or if
Yeah.
they look like enemies, like the moment I see that, I'ma just, I guess, fire on them, maybe.
I think by like 50 feet away, you can definitely tell that the wagon is very large and it has bodies inside it.
Yeah.
And carrying the wagon, lurching and trying their best to drag this wagon forward are two zombies.
I look to Cheddar and I tell him to go get the others. And then I'm just gonna draw down on one and fire.
Okay. So you gather everybody first?
He
I
sends
send
Cheddar.
Cheddar. I mean, they're not too far behind. They're like
Okay.
40 feet behind me.
Yeah. So
Maybe 50?
Cheddar rounds them up.
Yeah. So I send Cheddar, and then while Cheddar's heading over, I mean, Cheddar can literally teleport over there and bring them over.
Yeah.
So, yeah. So I have Cheddar teleport over, and then I look to have a surprise round of attack on these guys. So I draw down and loose an arrow.
Do you all agree to surprise?
Yeah.
Everybody joining in?
I'm just thinking of like I'm sitting there holding the reins, waiting, and then all of a sudden a dog appears next to me, and the thing,
Yeah.
A ghost dog showed up.
ghost dog shows up.
All right. Well, if you all gathered up for a surprise round on these creatures, I'm just going to skip the rolling and stuff and say yes. You take out the two zombies.
Yeah, that's fair. It'll be quick.
Yeah, it makes it a little. We quicken it a little bit. So yes, you take out the two zombies, and they were dragging very slowly a wagon full of bodies.
That's sad. I guess we push
Probably
it off to the side.
Moor-Dogian
Or is it from
bodies.
the graveyard we just passed?
That seems fresher,
So yeah, probably from Moor-Dog then.
and they were moving very slow.
So then Moor-Dog. it is.
Moor-Dog.
I look to our religious bastions, and I'm like, is there a ritual for a larger group of people, or should we just keep them out of the hands?
I can definitely say a prayer.
Yeah, I think we just say a prayer, and when we're done with our business, we can come back and give them a proper burial, but to bury this many people is going to take a long time.
Okay.
Weeks.
And the
possibly.
alchemist is clearly up to shenanigans still, so we should probably go stop that.
I guess we push the thing off to the side of the road, maybe like next to a tree.
It's not really a road; it's just a swamp.
Yeah.
Just gonna let it be.
There's
Like
like
a
a
go around it.
Do the tracks end, or is this?
There's more tracks actually leading towards Mara Street in the same direction.
Okay.
Cool.
We can just
more
keep following
wagon
those tracks.
tracks.
Awesome.
Yes.
Yeah.
I'm just trying to think of like the alternative was, you know what? They probably won't notice us if we just sneak in the back of their wagon.
They would have just
Amongst
been
all the
hanging out with
bodies.
dead bodies for 2 days, though.
Yeah. Just kind of waiting. All right, surprise.
Got him.
Yeah.
Got him, coach. I sit back up there and I look at Tristan and I say, you did a really good job driving there. And I trust you with continuing. And then I turn over and just start napping.
Oh yeah, that's how this works, I guess.
Yeah. They continue forward.
Yeah, we just gonna keep us going forward,
All right.
following the tracks.
So about an hour later, again, not much is going on in this Far Bog. It's kind of spooky, but just like background spooky at this point.
Spooky.
Yeah, not bad. There. You come across, though, about 300 feet, appearing in the mist, is another wagon, but it's stationary. Isn't moving. And you don't see any of the humanoids around it.
Okay.
Is there anything in it?
Do you approach?
Yeah. I mean, if it's on our route,
It's
we'll
also
continue
going
toward it.
in the same direction. Okay.
Is it moving?
No.
Oh, okay.
So
Yeah, you said it's
So it-
stationary. Never mind.
Yeah.
so you approach.
I kind of poked Gerald awake,
What? Huh?
pointed out, hey, there's another one of those. There doesn't seem to be any zombies pulling it, but
Looks like did they run away? Did they run away? I mean,
I don't know. So we continue towards it.
yeah.
Okay. And as you approach, you notice that this wagon too is filled with corpses, and at its front are 4 zombies that have been cut down very neatly and precisely, limb by limb, and are just on the ground.
Someone else is attacking these carriages.
Yeah.
Or is this the same one that we just saw? Are we going in circles?
There were only 2 at the
Okay.
other one that we went to.
Okay.
How were they cut? Like with a blade, or were they like torn apart?
Investigation check, maybe.
Time to investigate. Oh, Tristan found a clue.
Oh,
Guess he gets a draw
there you
card.
go.
Yes, yeah.
Maybe even 2 clues.
Tristan analyzes the scene, and he notices a few things. He notices first the bodies, yes. They were cut down with clean, precise cuts from a sharp weapon, possibly a longsword with his 20. Additionally, he spots that there are footprints near these zombies. Human boot prints, yes. 2 pairs. And with your 20 investigation, you know that these boots, the prints of them, are of high design. It's like something like a high class noble would wear. This is not like pedestrian walking shoes.
Oh,
These are like nice I'm at a ball type shoe. These are like the ones you pull out for an event and then you put them away. Not like I'm trouncing through a Far Bog type shoes.
But they're shoes, not armor.
They are shoes. Or
Not
boots.
greaves.
They're boots. They're not greaves, they're boots.
spooky boots.
So I relay this information, and
Indeed, they
I
might
say,
be a little bit spooky.
so we know that the Voldaren vampire clan take people from the village, or from the outlying villages here, based on what we were told about them, taking people and using them as like propping them up as a king or a queen or whatever for a few days. Do we think maybe that the Voldarans might be upset at their food supply being messed with by this alchemist?
It sounds about right.
Maybe.
Perhaps they're trying to run interference here. Get rid of some of these zombies. Does that sound correct to anyone else?
I
Or
mean-
does anyone else have another theory?
I like
Who
your
else
tracking. Yeah.
would be wearing dress shoes? in a swamp, they must be able to fly. This doesn't seem like the work of the Thraben army or any such, or the church. So
Yeah. Yeah, if we look around, do we see where those boots head off towards?
With your 20 investigation, you notice that the boots kind of take a few steps. They appeared, they took a few steps, and then they disappeared. They don't seem like they're walking out of the swamp.
So, yeah, that's my best guess.
great, there are vampires and zombies in our swamp.
Well,
Well, I mean, we kind of knew to expect that.
yeah. We were going to the Mauer Estates and then going to Voldarin Estate to try and get back our original case here. So, yeah, I think we just continue towards the Mauer Estate and be aware that we should be looking up as well as out.
I was gonna say, I'll be on the looking up duty if you'll look forwards.
Yes.
I'll scan the skies.
Okay.
So we continue.
All right. And it's getting close to nighttime. You're making good time towards Mauer Estate. And again, it's pretty quiet around you. And again, the shroud of the mist is obscuring your vision to see too far out, about 300 feet again. But about an hour later, once more, you notice just on the outskirts of your vision, in the mist, appearing from the mist, is another wagon with 4 humanoids dragging it slowly.
Okay.
I guess we just... Do you want to roll up on these fools too? We're becoming a little hit squad out here. Jesus.
I mean, they're not... They don't seem to be posing much of a threat.
I feel like they're not just going to let us pass them, are they? We could try.
We could try, but I also don't know that... Like, they're going very slow, so yeah, maybe we should take them out.
I'm afraid of attracting vampires with a commotion.
Yeah, that's kind of what I was thinking too. But I feel like if we keep going through this way, they're just going to notice us no matter what. So
yeah,
and we were able to take out that last group pretty easily.
Yeah, we're good at taking out zombies. Well, maybe we continue. I'll just, I'll draw down on them from up here, and we can just be ready to fight if we need to. You have a crossbow.
Yeah.
Thoughts?
Yeah, I think we just take them out. I mean, we can't overtake them, right? This is like a one.
Well, we can't,
a one
because they're
road.
just like shambling.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So we could do a drive-by, I guess. Awful way to put that.
What?
But
Yeah.
We could just, drive
by
parallel to them, and then if they decide to try and attack us, we could kill them. But if they're just too slow, because they're zombies, we can just keep driving.
We should probably just take them out. I don't want them to catch up with us at the Mauer Estate or something later and get flanked by this pack of zombies we decided to leave alone, so...
Alright, I guess we all just climb down and sneak up on these fools.
Yeah.
I'll zap one down with some radiant energy.
So as you move forward to sneak up on these fools...
That's the wrong one. That's the correct one.
You suddenly notice plunging from the sky, as you were also keeping an eye from the sky,
Aww.
2 humanoids
I was.
appear in the sky on these spectral, almost angelic-looking wings. And they plunge down into the mist directly above the wagon, and there's a bit of a scuffle, maybe like 5 seconds lasts, and the 4 zombies that were pulling the wagon have been ripped down and are on the ground.
Did you say angelic wings or like angelic wings?
They were like angelic. They're clearly wings, and they're like luminous. They have something luminous about them.
Alright, I want to look at these things and see if I
They
know
seem to be
anything.
just
Friends of
standing
yours?
over the wagon.
And I kind of want to
I'm
look
gonna
at them
look
and
at them
compare
too.
them to the things that
Just
burst
walk
out of the
over?
cave.
All right. So you walk over.
I'm staying on the carriage.
I walk over because they're clearly angels, and angels are here to protect
have
us.
the angels
so
returned?
I'm going to walk over respectfully.
This is going to be a Dan Brown book, for gosh sakes.
Yeah.
So Glinda approaches, and when she approaches about, I would say, like 50 feet, she gets a good look at the angels. Is she the only one who comes close?
I'm sitting in the
I
carriage
go with
and
her.
I'm just looking.
Okay, I'll show it to... I'm only gonna show it to the people that are there. Actually, yeah.
Okay.
Valvius and Siglinda, and Tristan's not coming?
Nope.
Correct.
Okay. It's in your journals now, Siglinda and Valvius.
Ooh, okay.
They're not angels, guys.
No? Are they maybe demons like we thought?
They look like vampires. They look like
Great.
Yeah,
Pretty
definitely look
fancy
like
vampires.
As you're shouting, and they smile at you, bearing their canines, and they wave
Do they
you
have
over, and
boots?
they say, "Hello, heroes of Shadowgrange."
Oh, great.
Oh,
Great.
hello.
am I still? No, I'm no. They're not angels at this point.
Yeah, no, they're not angels. They have like these bat-like
Hello?
spectral wings. Does
Hello.
everybody see it now? Show to players.
Just go to your journal.
Show to.
It's in the journal.
Oh, show to all
Yeah.
players. All players. Show. Yes.
Oh, these guys.
Ah,
Oh, I
They're
forgot
flying
that's what they
vampires.
made the vampires look like.
Mm-hmm.
Huh.
They look sweet.
Yeah.
Yeah,
badass.
they are decked in this enameled red armor. Clearly, very wealthy, exquisitely crafted armor, exquisitely crafted everything. Essentially, it's like there's function and then there's artistic with function. All about the aesthetics here, and they have these like spectral-looking bat-like wings on their backs,
Yeah.
and they don't seem hostile. At front, they're grinning at you.
Mhm.
They seem happy to see you, and they wave you over. They're like, "Come, heroes, Shadowgrange."
I can't tell you how hard
Pleasure to see you.
I tried to make this card good in EDH. It's not. Please don't.
But the art, though,
The art's badass.
we have heard so much about you.
I guess I'll climb down and just
Yeah.
when Valvius yells that they're not angels, I realize there's something clearly wrong, and I just
Yeah.
start heading over so that I'm within range to attack if I need to.
Yeah, I think we.
okay.
Well,
I'm okay to talk to them to start with.
actually, I look at Tristan and I'm like,
what's
should
going
we
on.
sneak over?
Maybe a little bit. I think they know we're here, but
Well, they know they're there. Do they know that we're there?
Where is your friend Valvius?
Okay, fine. We'll head over.
yeah.
we look like angels, yes. And they say, "I assume you are going to Mauer Estate."
That
Yes.
was our destination. Yes. What can
What
we
business
do?
do you have here?
What is it you're looking for?
Well, we were here for some piddling duty. These zombies, they bring corpses to this meddling alchemist who has fortified himself in the estate. He uses them to make more zombies, and this is not good business for Stenzia. You know, we don't like other undeads. We like our families. We treat our families right. We treat the humans right. So we are protecting Shadowgrange ourselves. And they give a little bow.
Mm-hmm.
Just like you, we are
Okay.
also heroes of Shadowgrange, yes?
Of
Yes, of
course.
course.
Good.
So, do you want to work with us in order to take down this alchemist?
Of course, yes. We're clearing the area for you.
Sorry, guys.
I
I'm
look at
just holding
Siggy.
Cheddar back as he's like maliciously growling.
I look at Siggy like, what are you doing?
if they're gonna
You
help
can't
us,
make a deal with vampires. They're
They're helping
evil.
themselves.
So,
Oh, you do not need to whisper, little one. We won't bite you.
Jeez.
We make vampire jokes.
Okay, that was kind of the funniest thing I've heard in a long time.
we make that.
We make vampire joke.
We all laugh. We all laugh. We have a good time here in Far Bog.
How far away are we from the estate?
Oh, you reach it 2 more hours walk? Not too far.
What should we expect to find when we get there?
This Siegfried, he comes from Shadowgrand. We hear he is alchemist. He has fortified the Mauer estate. It used to be our vacation grounds for us Falconrath, and
Seems like an awful
he took it
vacation
over.
home.
He killed my cousin. Not good guy. Not good guy. So he has fortified it with holy wards and lightning and strangeness. We cannot go there directly. However, we can make sure he no longer gets any more supplies. So we are taking out the zombie wagons. Good.
Okay.
Can we offer you a trade of services?
What do you want from us?
So, we believe you. We are also on a mission from the High Council, and we are searching for a woman, Katarina.
Oh, just put all our eggs in the
Oh, yeah.
basket.
Just
All
go for
right.
Oh.
We believe you may have her.
Oh, we do not have her. Olivia has her.
Great.
She, great character, great guest. Best queen we've had in years. Let me tell you. Put up a very strong fight. Very strong. Very respectable. She will make great vampire.
Cool. What if we cleared out the estate for you, and you just brought her back? You know, like a trade in services. You finish our mission, we'll finish yours.
Well, we could stop by the Voldaren estate and see if Olivia hasn't eaten her yet. And if so, maybe we make trade, yes?
I look around literally like this, like, you guys like...
Yeah. Yeah, okay.
the Hans and Franz of
You
vampires here.
You kill Siegfried for us, you clean up this little mess. We find Katarina for you. Whatever, what's left of her.
Oh, preferably whole. Can we take a
Sound is
moment
good.
to discuss?
Please, have fun.
Okay.
We'll just be here.
Just hanging out there. I guess we move 20 feet off and... So?
I guess
Wait,
that's
okay.
what we're doing. We'll take
can
us
we
a
take
break.
these guys?
So
Using our extensive
from our-
knowledge, can 4
I
humans...
remember you mentioned this before, Tomer, like, vampire and werewolves are like, you need multiple people to attack them, and they're very difficult, right?
They're definitely a lot harder than zombies.
Right.
Okay. So, from our character's perspective, do we think that we'd be able to take on these guys, or probably not?
Hmm.
I'm pretty confident we cannot take on 2 of them.
I think Tristan would have like the most interaction with vampires because he is from Nephalia. There's the Stromkirks are from Nephalia, and they kind of run the place. So, it would be tough. I don't know if Tristan's ever killed a vampire. They are killable.
Here's the thing.
Definitely Cathars do it.
Jareth has spilled the beans. So if they just go to Olivia and say,
Yep.
hey, there are 4 humans coming for your Katarina, how are we ever going to break into that stronghold Or we could take care of these two guys.
We'll just trade Jareth since he stole the beans. We'll just trade for him. He can be their king.
We're already trading, though. We're trading, doing this. I mean, this guy has slain a vampire, so he's not exactly a small fish for them.
Oh.
Okay.
Do you think maybe we go to the alchemist and ally with him?
No.
That sounds terrible.
He was making
But the aberrations can help
we
storm
cannot
Olivia's stronghold.
ally with him.
Well, what if we capture the alchemist and literally trade him?
No.
But what if they just kill us all?
I think either way, we continue on
Well, yeah.
and try to take out Siegfried and hope they hold up their end of the
So we're
bargain.
just going to trust our two vampire friends?
I don't know their names.
Yep.
I guess.
I like giving them a fistful of... Wait, does silver work on vampires? No, right? No. Okay.
No.
So what are we? What's the goal here?
I think we're gonna exchange names. Well, they know our names. We're gonna try to get their names. And then we're gonna head to Siegfried. And they're gonna continue clearing the zombies and stuff to doing what their job is.
Okay.
That's it. And then they're gonna try to get Katarina back for us if we take out Siegfried.
Sure. So I guess we head.
So
back
let's
over
go take out
to Hans
Siegfried.
and Franz.
This sounds like a bad
So
idea.
I'm gonna go back over to them and I'm going to say, I've spoken with my comrades and we have a deal. We will clear out your Siegfried problem and you will help us get our Katarina back.
Very good, humans. Very good. We like this deal. We like this very much. We cannot guarantee that Katarina not eaten, but whatever she had on her, and if maybe she is a vampire, we will come back and bring you your Katarina.
That's
Okay? We just, okay?
Okay. You will be at Shadowground, yes?
no. We'll be at the estate. Is there a way to contact you guys?
You take down the holy wards, we will be there.
Okay, cool.
Okay. And your names were? I'm sorry.
I am Hans, and this is Franz.
They are here.
Okay. Thank you,
They're
Hans.
gonna pump us up. I'm so
We'll
excited.
see.
What's up? Yep.
Very nice to meet you, heroes of Shadowground. Good luck on your hunting.
Oh, goodness. Okay.
All right.
Let's continue on.
Yeah.
Okay.
I guess we clamber back in and we head to the Mauer estate.
And
We have some vampire allies.
Question
Oh
mark.
my god, it's Zendikar.
I know. It's Zendikar. There's no vampire allies. It's wrong place.
ally flashbacks. No. They could be allies. You never know. They could be vampire allies. So they fly away. And they disappear into the mist.
Okay. We continue on to our estate.
All right. So you continue forward. And... All right. So you make your way through the swamp. The muddy swamp of the spooky fog and the petrified trees and just the unsavoriness of the zombie wagons and the vampires. And you notice, like, in the center of the Far Bog, suddenly the black muck of the Far Bog is behind you, and there's like kind of like a patch of just solid ground in the middle of this Far Bog, in its center. You're greeted with a fresh breeze of the open valley ahead of you. There's soft rolling hills cascading ahead of you, flanked by jagged stone valley walls to the west. And up a few miles ahead is a grove of greenery rising up from the short grass. Poking up from its center, high above the forest ceiling, is a twisting stone tower adorned with glistening metal contraptions. The tower shimmers with wisps of pale light. It kind of looks like an aurora borealis effect, like these shards of light just around it. and they're like ribbons, they're dancing in the breeze. And there's angry clouds gather over the valley. It seems like it's concentrated over this grove, and in particular over this high stone monolith.
Like a rooftop storm.
Like a rooftop storm? Bam! Quick flashes of lightning pop from inside the restless clouds. A storm is coming.
Okay.
And yes, there's a forest ahead, and in its center, poking out of the storm, is what can only be the Moor estate.
Dun, dun,
And
dun,
I
dun.
think this is the perfect time to end our session. So, I hope everybody enjoyed. I'll see everyone back here when we reach the final chapter of our adventure. Until then, everybody,
Okay.
see ya! Thanks for watching the video. If you liked it, help us out by clicking that like button down below. And to keep up with the latest and greatest, click on the subscribe button. And don't forget to hit that bell icon to get alerts whenever we have new videos. And if you want to check out similar videos, click on the links here and here.